welcome to the Sewing Quarter. Have we got a 4 hours for you, crammed pack with quilting? So, if you love your patchwork and quilting, this is the place to be for the next 4 hours. If you're a bit curious about it, maybe you know there's something that you're thinking of dabbling in but don't know too much about it, then learn with us today. Lots of inspiration. Maybe you are already an avid quilter, in which case we've got some beautiful packs for you today. Did you see my panda on social media? Did you? That is coming up. That's 10 o'clock. And we've got the Panda pack for you, the Panda Pop, as we like to call him. He is coming up. If you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, then we'll show you a little picture of our Panda Pop in just one moment. But for this show, we are demystifying all the different fabric bundles that you can get, whether it be fat quarters, whether it be fabric strips and designer rolls, or whether it be charm packs. We're going to use them today, and we're going to start to show you how to get quilting with all of these. So first up, we've got our Amy Butler Fat Quarter Bundle. We're bringing you big names this hour. We've got Amy Butler, we've got Tula Rose, we've got Joel Dewberry as well. So all the big names in quilting we've got for you. So you decide which are the ones that you love and pop them in your basket. So Amy Butler, this is from the Forever Amy range. We went through this in detail yesterday, but it was so popular we brought it back for you today. $64.90. Where else I could get this from? It's quite difficult to get hold of at this great price. So $64.95 gets you all of these 15 fat quarters there. This is her range. Let me show you the size of the fat quarter. And they are absolutely stunning. The designs in here, look at that. Gorgeous. That's one of my favourite ones out of this pack. Look how those colours just go. What a beautiful, fresh, modern look. Gorgeous. Now remember, 10 o'clock, the panda. I've teased you with him already. Have we got a picture of the panda? Hey, there he is. That's our pop-up panda, or Panda Pop, as we like to call him. And the lady behind the panda, hello you.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
So we've got Jo Carter on the show today. Now yesterday you brought us bunnies that flew. Well, they flew out of the studio. They didn't actually fly. And you bought us beautiful toys. So anybody that knows you might know you for your toy making.
Yes.
But quilting.
I do love quilting as well. It started off, toy making was always work sewing, and I got into quilting as a hobby. That was fun sewing, but I've sort of blended the two.
Now you let slip yesterday a little insight into the Carter household here. It's like, yes, I make obviously all the toys for the kids, and you said that when one of your sons was born, actually people didn't really give him toys because they just assumed that you would have made a mountain of toys for you. But what you did let slip was that each of the toys actually have their own quilted beds.
They do. They are well accessorised, the toys in my house.
This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. I'm so impressed by this. And so, lovely projects to get going with. What are you bringing for us today?
Today I've got the Quilter's Pre-Cut Companion Book, which is brilliant. If you're getting started in quilting, or even if you actually, I'm sort of self-taught. I picked up quilting as I went along, so things in books, and I have done some classes since. But this is great because it gives you a really good overview of real core quilting techniques and ways to cut and make blocks.
Do you know the first thing I love about this is you'll notice actually the spine, so you can lie this flat on your work desk. You're not having to put down weights or anything to try and hold it open. But it is absolutely brilliant for all those questions that you might have. Well, what size is a such and such? It's got it all there, and it's also got a whole load of different quilting blocks. It's like a recipe book almost. So the lady that's written it, or Jenny there, she knows her stuff. And look, you've got all the different sizes. She tells you how much backing you need on things. She takes you through step by step your standard pre-cut sizes and the names of them, because it's like another language.
It is.
I know when I first started looking at the quilting world, I have idea what these things are. They sound amazing, but I have absolutely no idea what they are. So this is there to demystify it. So Look at that, beautiful. So it's just showing you with your borders what yardage you're going to need, all these sorts of things with your bindings and your backing, how much you're going to need. But it also shows you how-tos, which is fab, because the binding obviously is quite an important part of your quilt.
It is.
And then here, the backing sizes, because this is different ways in which you do your backing. Because if you've made a great big quilt, sometimes one strip of fabric isn't going to cut it.
It's not. You have to piece fabric together to make the backing.
So even down to that, the things that have possibly put you off quilting before because you're just not sure, covered in this book. And then you get loads of different blocks to play with in here. It's really lovely. It's a must, isn't it?
It is. And it's great, even things like, I always forget what are the standard sizes of double quilts, and everything's in the front, you know, what size a double, a queen, a king, what size they should be. And
so it's good to have that as
a really good reference.
Constant reminder. $6.95 for your companion. And it should be your companion. You know, for me, this would always be within reach.
Yes.
To always have. So if you want your companion, $6.95, WCSP 59, grab it. Then you've got it. You've always got it there as a reference, and it should be your trusty companion.
It should. I always have a few books that are always piled up next to my sewing table, and this would definitely be one of them.
In there. Excellent. So what are we doing from it?
Well, we're working with precuts. Often, if you buy, you know, the bundles, the precut fabrics, it's hard to know. Sometimes you don't even want to unwrap them. Because they look so pretty.
Case in point. Hello, beautiful fabrics. But it is, isn't it? Because, let's face it, as soon as you unwrap it, it's never going to go back to being like that. But we had a book on the show yesterday, and it said, yes, you know, yes, they are beautiful, and yes, it will never go back to look like that. Something quite satisfying about that. But actually, when you get those fabrics out and you start working with them, what you'll find is that what you create is far more beautiful than that.
It is.
It's
Always.
just having the nerve, isn't it, to actually open it up.
But often you feel like you need a real plan. Before you commit to opening, you need to really know what you're going to do.
Well, as well, so you've invested in your fabric. So $57.95 for your Joel Dewberry Etrium range. 40 pieces here, and they are absolutely exquisite.
They are.
Utterly exquisite. And so you want to do them justice.
You do. You really do want to make the most of them and really show them off the best that you can.
Lovely. So we've got this on the show for you today. Are we using this one?
We might do later if we've got time. I'll do some.
Go on then. Where are we starting with today?
We're starting with charm squares today.
Oh, look, we're making these.
Really simple pinwheels. And I'm a sucker for a technique, a way when you see how it's done, you think, oh, you do like that. I love that. So this is, when I saw it, I thought, wow, I'm going to do that. It might be different for other people.
Well, no, I think you're quite right. You know, sometimes it is one of those things I just wouldn't know where to start.
Yes.
So help me.
Well, let's start with the pinwheel. I love a pinwheel. They work so nicely together when they're all brought together at the end. But this is how to create one. Okay, so what are we starting with? Are we going with this fabric here? We are. So we're using a charm pack. This is your Tula, it is Tula Rose, isn't it? Tula Pink, rather. Tula Pink. There you go, Tula Pink. Look at those colours there. For your Tula Pink. Absolutely stunning. I'm going to actually open, here we go, I've got an open one. Let's go through this. Now, she's Tula Pink, if you've never heard of her, is an illustrator. She's an American lady. Quite difficult to get hold of in this country. There was a whole conversation that we had yesterday about, well, where can you actually get hold of her? And here is the answer. So this is your Tula Pink True Colours. Absolutely beautiful. So if you want that veritable rainbow with gorgeous designs in, then this is the place to get it. Oh, hang on. I've missed one. How could I miss that? Look at that. Oh, yes. Hello. Oh, upside down. Look at that. Gorgeous. She's a clever lady, hey. She's an illustrator, and I think that really does show in her work. Just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Ladybugs. Hello, ladybugs. There. Oh, hello. You should go with that one. Oh, look, you've got it in blue. That's rather stunning too.
So we're playing with these today. Very nice. Oh, look, everything. You see, this is it, isn't it? You get all of these gorgeous colours and gorgeous designs. This is all in one pack, by the way. So you get a veritable rainbow. And we're looking at $19.95. That's a good price. That's a really good price. Do you know what? We'll come back and look at the rest of those. We've done purples, and we're going to head into your warmer tones in a minute. Now, you've chosen... Oh, nice.
I've chosen these two because
yeah.
I always sneak off, don't I? Like I'm trying to leave.
Come back.
Chosen these two. There's enough of... It depends how much you want the pinwheel to stand out as to whether... These fabrics are quite similar in tone.
So if you'd have wanted it to really stand out, then maybe you'd have gone whoo instead.
Yes, I did a peachy orange and purple one, so it just stands out.
Yes, that would be lovely.
Anyway, shall I?
Yeah.
Get on with it.
Crack on.
2 squares, right size together, one on top of the other. And you just want to sew all the way around the edge, so you seal it.
Oh, okay. Right.
So I'll
you
do
see,
that.
this is the thing. I would look at it and go, really? You want to do that? But absolutely you do. All the instructions in the book as well. So if you want to grab a book, then you can. It's $6.95 for your Quilter's Precut Companion, which is just on the bottom of the screen there for you. We're using your Tulip Pink True Colours. And this is a charm pack. So that means that it's pre-cut for you. So if, like me, your cutting is a little bit squiffy, then this is the perfect way to get true cut 5-inch pre-cut squares. And actually, just if you want a quilt or something in a bit of a hurry, it's saved all of that for you. And you don't have to buy vast amounts of the fabric. You're getting a great variety at a fabulous price, $19.95. It's a very good price.
It is. Often you feel, when you make a quilt, you feel like you spend more time cutting than
for me,
you do sewing.
What is my time worth? And actually, my time is worth paying the $19.95 to get them pre-cut. Plus, I'm really rubbish at cutting, so I'd have the expense of the ones I had to throw away because they weren't very good, or make into flowers because I won't waste the fabric. Just being honest. So, we've sewn all the way around.
Sewn all the way around.
Quarter of an inch seam allowance?
Quarter of an inch seam allowance.
Right.
The quilter's seam allowance. And then, with a ruler and a rotary cutter.
Ah, now, hang on, this is exciting because we've got these on the show today. Now, Alpha is, I'm led to believe, a rather fabulous brand.
It is.
Yeah. This is the chosen brand of quilters. Now, in this pack, if you are just getting started, if you're like me going, yeah, do you know what, got to give this quilting malarkey a go, in here you get the ruler that you're about to see Joe use, a rotary cutter, really good rotary cutter here, and the cutting mat with all of the marks. It's got inches on one side, centimetres on the other, all of this for $38.95. Hello, thank you very much. Yes, please.
It's brilliant. And a mat this size is great when you're doing things like this because you want to turn the mat.
Ah, okay.
Turn your work.
So that you've got the measurements.
Yes, and you want to cut away from yourself.
Right.
So now we've sewn all around the edge, and then it's just a case of along the diagonal, line your ruler up with the corners. Oh, I shouldn't have separated them then.
Okay.
I got carried away.
It's all right.
Because nobody saw that.
Nobody saw that. Nobody saw that.
And then you want to turn, and then cut in the opposite direction.
So that's the key. Keep them together.
Just to make sure it helps keep your cutting more precise.
All these instructions are in the book. So if you're going, well, yeah, you know, I'll watch this again, but actually, do you know what? I just want to have it there as a reference. Then grab the book. And you can have it. If you've just joined us, hello! We are on our Patchwork and Quilting Day because if you're new to the channel, then what you might not realise is that we're not a standalone channel. We're part of the Immediate Media group, and as part of that group, we also have a sister magazine, which is Love Patchwork and Quilting, which we've got down there for you today, which means that we've got lots and lots of inspiration within the magazines. And today we've also got an offer on the magazine for you. So if you've never tried Love Patchwork and Quilting, go on our website, and on there you can get 3 copies for £3. That's less than the price of one magazine.
It is.
So 3 copies, £1 each, so £3. Terms and conditions obviously apply, but go and check out the website. If you are fresh to quilting and you want to have a go and you, well, love patchwork and quilting, that's the magazine for you. Market leader in the old magazine world, that one.
It's brilliant. So much inspiration. It's lovely. Yeah, I love patchwork and quilting.
So we've got the magazine, we've got the book, we've got everything for you today. We are celebrating the love of patchwork and quilting today. So if you've just joined us, lovely Jo here is showing us how to do a pinwheel.
Pinwheels.
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome.
So we've cut these, sew them together, cut them diagonally, and then you open them out. I'll need to press them now.
I can do that. I can do that. Yes, I'm ironing. Good morning, I'm ironing.
Shall I move this mat?
Thank you ever so much for your message, Linda. And Patricia. Give our customer service team a call, 0800 112 4433, and they will be willing and able to help you. And it's a free phone number, and it's a UK call centre. So it'll be option 2 to go through for some help. Which way would you like these ironed?
Press to the dark side.
To the dark side. Are we considering that the blue side? Why do we press to the dark side?
It just so that with these colours, I don't think it would show up anyway. But just so you don't see sort of the ghost of the fabric
through. So if you were using a thinner fabric, you might see through.
You might, sorry.
And just press. Don't go crazy with your ironing.
No, you don't want to move the iron about because it will distort the shapes. You want to give it a press.
I learnt that at my cost.
Yes, it's a nightmare when because there's no getting it back to the shape you want again.
Now, if you would like to take a look at the Amy Butler fabrics, we've got, look at that. Love those. Have you had a good rootle through that?
I have.
Oh, it's a bit special, isn't it?
It is.
$64.95 for that. Details down the bottom of your screen for that. You're getting 15 fat quarters, and they are right nice.
They are. I have a couple of those in my stash, actually.
Do you?
I do.
You see, that's the trouble. If I only had a couple, I wouldn't use them because I'd be like, oh no, I've only got a couple. But you see, if I've got 15 of them, then that's okay. I can do that. I'm happy to do that. So grab them and enjoy them. That's the thing. What we're doing, we are stash busting for you today. So if you've got all these different charm packs and designer rolls and fat quarter bundles, get them out, get sewing. If you're adding to your stash, then please do. The designers that we've got today, we've got Tula Pink, we've got Joel Dewberry, and we've also got Amy Butler, 3 of the top designers in beautiful, beautiful designs. Lovely cottons and gorgeous to work with, actually.
They are really nice to work with.
You don't realise until you work with such a top quality fabric what you've been putting up with.
You don't. It's true. I mean, when I first started out, I thought, oh, do I really want to spend so much on fabrics? And
you get what you pay for, don't you?
You really do. I quickly came to the conclusion. Well, it's not only how they handle, but the look of them as well, and the colour, and yes. So, and these are beautiful. Right. So at this point, we've made them into smaller squares, and we want to sew them together. Okay. You can trim up at this point, but actually, I quite like, because the seams will go in opposite directions. I just find I will trim these off later.
Yes.
But I find it helps me.
They're the dog ears, aren't they?
They are. So, because the seams go in different directions, they should just slot together and fit nicely. And it's points, it helps get your points matched up. I would say don't obsess with getting your points perfect, because sometimes that can take the fun out of, or the enjoyment out of doing a project.
When I look at my very first patchwork attempt, I'm not going to lie, dreadful, but I still love it because I have it as a reminder of how far I've come, because each time I get it a little bit better as I learn from you guys. Each time I'll learn a little technique that will just help, and don't worry about it. It's but then I'm the sort of person, I've still got all of my art books going back from when I was sort of 11, and just, so that you can always see how far you've come. But it's having those things, isn't it? I'm a big book girl. I love to have books, and I love to have that reference so that I've always got them. So lots of you go in for the Quilter's Pre-Cut Companion there. Very, very popular there. You've got traditional blocks in there. You've just got great references. Like you say, I mean, this is the thing. We were looking at bedding the other day, and we got confused between what sort of sizes we needed.
Yes.
And then if you shop at a certain Swedish furniture store, they have different sizes all over again. So it's good to know the standard sizes, and that's what this book's got in it, as well as your traditional blocks as well. So there we go. That is your Quilter's Pre-Cut Companion book. £6.95. Covers all the basics and more, is what I would say.
And things like, I can't tell you the amount of times I've internet searched the exact size of a fat quarter because I cannot keep those measurements in my head.
Oh, no, me neither. It's my job and I still can't do it.
I can have a guess at it, but I will never be confident that I've got the exact amount. So something like that to refer to is great.
I know that one size is 50 centimetres. One side is always going to be 50 centimetres because it's half of that metre.
Yeah.
But then it depends how wide it is, depending on the width of the selvage. Because it's always going to be half of that.
I think, is it 18 inches by 22?
Oh, so you do it in inches, I do it in centimetres.
Well,
and that's again where we get confused again. So lots of great reference points in that book.
So there we go.
Oh, nice.
And the points, because of the seams going in different directions.
Yes.
I've not pinned it. I've not had to fiddle about too much, and they've lined up nicely.
Quite a quick, easy one to do.
It is. You could whiz up a pinwheel quilt, I think, really quickly.
Really?
Yeah.
Especially if you've got your pre-cuts. I think that's the thing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Go with your pre-cuts. What finished size is this going to give us? So we started with a 5-inch block.
It does say in the book.
And then it's going to end up being...
So it's 5.5, so it'll be a 5-inch square, I think, finished, with the seam allowance around the side. It's 5.5.
Cool.
I think.
So what size is this? Yeah, because it starts out 5, but then, of course, you do the 2 together, don't you? Oh, this is good. We like.
And then just sew them together. You can trim the dog ears off if you want before doing this.
But again, it's slotting them in, isn't it?
It is.
Can we show that? Is that
all right? So, I mean, it might be easier if I press them, actually, but you see they'll just fall in line, but one lot going that way and the bottom lot going that way.
So that's what you're looking at. Nice. So we know you predominantly for toy making, but actually quilting is this other love that you have.
I do love quilting.
What's your favourite quilt that you've ever made?
I think it's the one, well, I don't know actually. I think probably the one I have on my bed at home, because it was my first full-size quilt with purpose. I knew what I was doing. I bought fabrics especially for it. That was when I got my confidence up and I thought, right, I can do this and I can make a full-size quilt.
Now, we ran a competition, actually, and I have to say congratulations to Tony, who won. We asked you for your top tips when quilt making. And the tip that won was from a lovely lady called Tony, and she said, when you start to quilt, with every quilt, put in a piece of fabric that has meaning to you.
Yes, that's
because then it's the start of that memory journey that quilt's going to go on. And I just thought, what a lovely, lovely thing. So thank you, Tony, for that top tip. And yeah, join a competition with that.
That is a great tip. Sorry, I should have removed these. I'll do it now.
We have our quilt at home. My mum had made for us for our wedding, and so it's got our initials embroidered on it and the date that we got married.
Oh.
So that's pretty special.
A real heirloom piece.
Yeah. And that's what these should be. You know, you're putting this much time and love and effort into something. It should be a work of love.
So there we go. A pinwheel block. At this point, you want to press it and trim
off the dog ears.
Yes, make sure it's the right size. But then a few of these together. I mean, it would come together. You saw how quickly you could do all your squares, sew around the edge in a pile, and then cut them out in a pile. And...
Oh, hang on. That way. We're using Tulip Pink for this today. Actually, maybe we should do... Oh, yeah. Nice. If you have just joined us, these look amazing. We've got Tulip Pink precuts on the show today. I'm sorry, I'm just enjoying having fun with these. But yeah, you can just see how this quilt would come together in gorgeous shades, actually. These are all from the Tulip Pink range. I can't reach it. There we go. Nice. This is all your Tulip Pinks. It's going to be an abundance of colour, isn't it? When
a real rainbow.
Yeah, beautiful. But that's what you're getting within that pack. So you're getting 42 pre-cut 5-inch squares here for $19.95 from the designer Tulip Pink. Fabulous designer. And it's a veritable rainbow. When you get it and you flick through it very quickly, you'll see it is an absolute rainbow. If I just show you like that, you can see you've got all the colours. I'd be tempted to make it as that rainbow.
I would pair up, yes.
Yeah.
And
just
sort of graduate it, pair up the reds and the pinks and pinwheels and...
Oh, lovely. Oh, yes, yes, yes. It's got to be done. Right, what are we doing now?
I love the way this one works in a pinwheel. This sort of...
Yeah, because it's got like a little wonk in it, hasn't it?
It has, and it just swirls.
A bit psychedelic-y.
It is.
Nice. So maybe grab that and then grab your Quilter's Pre-Cut Companion so that you know what you're doing. You've got everything in there. Watch the show back again and you're good to go. What are we doing next?
Next, I thought it's a block towards the end of the book.
Right.
See if I can find it. I've chosen this one. Again, you start... I mean,
so
the
this is the
instructions...
Disappearing Hourglass, is that right?
It is.
They sound amazing.
They've got fabulous names.
Shall I show you this? And is it this one?
This is this one.
Look at this. I would be so chuffed to bits if I'd made that. That's really awesome. And it is on page 24. Can I give you that to hold for a second, please? And I just want to show you there. So you see, look, it actually looks like it. Look at that. So this is your Tulip Pink fabric here, and this is your pre-cut companion book there. So $6.95 down the bottom there, and then your Tulip Pink, oh, that way there, $19.95. 42 pre-cut bits. I was about to ask you how big a quilt that would make, but then I realised that's a really stupid question because obviously that size block is going to be smaller than that block, so it depends what blocks you're making as to the size you're going to end up with.
Because this one's cut again. I mean, the instructions are brilliant, really clear. The pictures are excellent. Again, this one starts off in the same way as before. So we sew them together around the edge and then cut them on the diagonals.
Nice.
So I'll do that.
Excellent.
Another couple of squares here.
Oh, what colours are we going with now?
Well, which do you think I've just picked out? I thought I'd go for two that are slightly more contrasting. But
I love this one. I don't know if you can pick up this on the screen, but it's just the most delicate, beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. And this is Tulip Pink. I think this is her nod to white and the grey, because this is the first one, and then it goes into greys and blacks. I think that's gorgeous.
I love prints that look like a solid colour from a distance, but then you get up close and then you can see the detail in it.
Oh, you're so right. So we're doing that with, ooh, this is just stormy, isn't it? Look at that. Look at that. That's just incredible. Nice. All out of your Tulip Pink, True Colours, 42 pieces. Awesome. If you're after other fabric, we've also got the Amy Butler Fat Quarter Bundle, and what a bundle it is. 15 fat quarters there. That's a lot of quilting. For $64.95. Nice. And if you would, maybe, I'm just thinking, $64.95 with that. Pop in the book as well. You're good to go, aren't you? Absolutely. XPRW56. And don't forget as well, maybe you're after a log cabin or many, then we've got this as well. Joel Dewberry. I love his colours. Look at those. We've seen a lot of his in the past few days, and I do believe there's something panda related coming up at 10 o'clock.
There might be involving...
That might involve a bit of...
It might just...
Joel. I'm not allowed to say anymore.
Is it hush hush?
Well, yeah. Not going to lie, yeah. But actually, if you are after the panda quilt coming up at 10 o'clock, then maybe pop that in, because it comes with...
Are we...
I'm not going to say. I'm not allowed to say. But yeah, if you wanted extra Joel... Just say it, just saying. You know, if I don't give you a hint. Right, okay. Anyway, as we were.
So, again, I'm going to sew around the edge
Yes.
of this one, shall I? Yeah.
Yes, I'm being told off for saying too much. Look, you can't give me secrets. I'm rubbish at keeping secrets. So, yeah. So we're going to go all the way around like we did with the other one. How long do you then spend just trying to sort out how to arrange them to make them look their best?
Hours.
Hours and hours.
I spend hours, and I will have an arrangement, and then I will take a photograph of it.
What a great idea.
And then I will rearrange it and take another photograph of it, and then I will flick through and compare them, and then once I've decided on one, I will go back and rearrange it to that photograph. So literally hours.
This is the kind of family I come from, though, because I do the same. But you see, I grew up in a family that every time my mum and dad put a picture up on the wall, it would be at least an hour of, well, I think maybe half an inch to maybe let's have it level with the top of the door. No, maybe we'll have it level with the bookcase. Hours.
It's important to get these things right.
Absolutely. So I completely understand getting these things absolutely. But then it's to your taste. There's no right or wrong, is there? It's just what feels right for you.
And it's really useful actually having a photograph, because often you start sewing, you think, which way round did they go? And actually having a photograph there,
I think that's
to refer to really helps.
I also have a house full of dogs, animals, children, which generally means that things don't stay where I put them.
No, they don't respect.
So I could lay it all out beautifully, and then I don't know, the Great Dane would run through, and that's it. It's like a storm's passed through, and nothing is ever where you leave it. Thank you very much for your messages, nice and early. Hey, you see, I've noticed this about quilters. Up early. Early risers. Very early risers. Good morning, it's lovely to have you on the show. Hello, Sylvia. Oh, she's recently discovered Love Patchwork and Quilting, and she's already subscribed. Good job. If you haven't already subscribed, then you can get 3, I want to call them episodes. They're not. Editions.
Yes.
Copies.
Issues.
That's it. Issues. For today only, get 3 issues for £3. That's £1 an issue. That's less than the cost of one normal magazine.
It is.
But we just want you, because we can do it. You know, we can say, hey, give it a go. If you love it, and then, carry on. But it's terms and conditions obviously do apply. Go and take a look on the website. It's all on there for you. Ooh, because it's a Love Patchwork and Quilting Day. Because we do. So we've gone around the outside, and then what?
I'm going to cut in half along the diagonal again. So use the corners of my ruler.
Can I just show you this again as well, whilst you cut? We got this. We've got your rotary cutter, your quilt ruler, and your rotary mat. Both sides can be used. You've got centimetres one side, you've got inches on the other, mat-wise. There's your rotary cutter, there's your ruler, and obviously there's your mat. But it shows you everything that you're getting on the top there. $38.95. That's a good price.
It is.
No matter
really
which
good.
way up you look at it, that's a great price. TQGQ60 is your code for that. Awesome.
Because I have a large cutting mat, but I also have one this size, because doing things like this, you need to cut on the diagonal, you need to cut away from you, so you can just twist it round without moving your pieces. Because this is made for quilters, you've got all the different angles that you'll come on to use. Whether you're working with centimetres or inches, you've got inches one side, you've got centimetres the other. It's a self-healing cutting mat, and a great rotary cutter. Really good. In fact, I have one of these. Oh, you do? I do. I have them. That's how much I love them. But brilliant. Really awesome. So we've done the same as a pinwheel. So this could be a pinwheel. It could, but it starts in the same way. Okay. I need to give these a press again, and then we're joining them in that formation. So the tulip pink fabric is what we're using today. Let's get pressing. Yeah. Now this is very obvious, isn't it? The dark side, which is the dark side. So press to the dark side. There we go. And it is just a press like that. There we go. Thank you. With good quality fabric like this, though, often, because it probably wouldn't show on the white side either, because it's got... Well, it's a tight weave, isn't it? It is. It's a really nice.
So, which means
that
that you can't see through it, and that's the joy of it. So, but if you are using a lesser fabric, shock horror, then always press to the dark side.
Always.
Now, we've also got for you today Amy Butler fabric. Do you know, I went on, I had a little look around yesterday because I was like, you know, we're really lucky to have all of these designers here. How easy are they to get hold of? Actually not that easy. Certainly not these sort of prices, so I was really happy with that. So if you're after your beautiful Amy Butler fabrics, all three of our designers today, Amy Butler, Joel Dewberry and Tula Rose. I keep calling her Tula Rose. I think I've got a friend with a baby or something called Tula Pink.
Tula Pink.
Sorry. All American designers.
Yep.
Top of their game. Absolute top of their game. Fabulous designers, and we've got them here on the show. Beautiful. And you.
Thank you. So I'm going to sew them together like this. So,
okay.
So those two together first, and again, you could trim. Should I trim them up?
You can trim them up. It's entirely up to you. Is there any rule for when to trim?
Generally speaking, you want to remove the dog ears. I do find them at this point, I find them quite handy for lining up, but I'll take them off. I'll be neat and tidy.
Oh, hello, Sylvia. Thank you for your message. Oh, she said, who knew sewing triangles could be so easy? It's one of those things, isn't it, you avoid because you think it's going to be tricky. Really not.
It's also, doing it in this method as well, so if I've got this right, it makes sewing along the bias easier. Is this correct?
I don't know.
I don't know. I might be confusing myself here. Because you're cutting. Oh no, these edges are the bias, so you need to be aware of that
when you press.
Let me think. How have I? See, I've done too much sewing recently. So yes, so we're cutting along here. So these edges are the bias. So you need to bear that in mind because there will be a little bit of stretch.
Now, if you have any sort of questions, the book is going to help you with all these things. It is your companion. It is your pre-cut companion. So if you've got such questions as, well, what size actually is a fat quarter? It's in there. Let's have a look. Let's see what we've got in here. So all these beautiful things. And then you've got a nice glossary. These are going to be all of the blocks that you'll get sort of a recipe book for, which I rather like. And then you've got, here we go, bed comforter, coverlet and bedspread measurements, your quilt sizes with drop and tuck. What's a drop and tuck?
I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. Standard pre-cut sizes and names. We've got all of the... Oh, here we go. What do we want to know? So a design strip. Nice. It tells you all of these. Charm rolls. Dessert rolls. Fat rolls. These are all fabulous names. And they're all in here. It tells you all in there. There we go. Pre-cuts and quilt sizes. So this is just one of those things. If you don't have it and you don't have anything like it, pop it in your basket. It is just $6.95. A lot of you going crazy for this today because it's just something that you can have as a quick, easy reference. It's going to lie flat because you've got the binding there. Lie flat on your desk so you're not having to pin it down all the time. But it's all in there. Let's get to the pretty bits. Yes. So it's going to show you exactly how to put all of these together. Love it.
The drop and tuck, I imagine, would be down the sides. And yes, that measurement there. But I don't know for sure. But that's what I would assume.
Yeah,
it was.
It's all these tabs, isn't it? It's a good job it's in here because then you'll know. Look at these. Yeah. So it's all in there. Here we go. And then this. Now we need to talk about this because this says about jelly rolls. Now jelly rolls is only for Moda fabrics. They've got that. So if you hear the term jelly roll, what they actually mean is a 2.5-inch fabric strip or design strip. And that's what we've got here with your Joel Dewberry. And these are all 2.5 inches cut selvage to selvage. And that's a design roll. Fabric strips, 40 pieces, 40 strips, all pre-cut. And again, how wonky is your cutting? For me to cut a 2.5-inch strip from something to bind your Panda quilt with something other than what we give you in the pack later, you might want to just as a thought,
invest in,
you know, just saying. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. Lovely present. There's something so satisfying about that. Love it. Ooh! $57.95 ZJRW02. Pop it in your basket. Nice. Sonia's messaging. Thank you for your message, Sonia. Oh. She says drop and tuck is at the bottom of page 5. She's obviously got the book.
Drop and tuck.
Yes, no, it says there, yeah. Your quilt sizes with a drop and tuck. So added drop and tuck.
So it has everything.
Oh, okay. There we go. It would help if I'd actually looked at it, doesn't it? So So the drop hangs over the edge of the mattress on 3 sides, and the tuck folds under the pillow. That's why you need the companion. Perfect.
It really does have everything.
So things you didn't even know you needed to know, you now know.
You now know.
Perfect. Now, what we're working with right now are the charm pack pieces from the beautiful Tulip Pink. Gorgeous.
So I've made that block.
Yes.
I would have pressed
Would you like
before
me to?
I sewed those together, but I just went for it. Time is up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go for it.
I
Absolutely go for it. Now what do we do?
So now we need to give it a press.
Oh, right, yep. Here we go. Whoops.
It's off. There we go.
Now then, how would you like these pressed?
I would keep those all going the way that they are, but then I would press the centre open, but you can put it to either side, or I cling to... That's one thing I've not managed quite to let go of with quilting. I always feel the need to press seams open, but with quilting, generally speaking, there will be a side that works better, but I still cling to pressing open.
And does that come from dressmaking?
I think, well, I'm not particularly a dressmaker. I think when I did sewing... I think because my mum taught me, and she is a dressmaker, I think that's just lodged in my brain.
Because yesterday Jennifer Taylor was saying that she, because she's a dressmaker, she always wants to do iron with the seams open, and she's like, I now got to do it to one side with quilting. It's different.
It is.
It's very different, isn't it? You know, dressmaking's done in centimetres a lot of the time, quilting's done in your inches, so there are differences. But here we want to bust open all of these differences and make it all accessible to you. So today is all about your patchworking and quilting, which we love. What are we doing now?
Right, the next step is to cut the block into thirds in each direction.
Right.
So you need to measure your block, and this one is 5 inches and 3/4, which doesn't divide by 3.
Okay.
Comfortably. So now what I would do is I would trim that down to lose an extra 1/8, so that it would have been 2 inches, but you just lose an 1/8, and so it's 1 inch and 7/8. Is that right? So
yeah,
into thirds. So it's not quite 6, but we'll lose that extra bit so that it divides nicely, and it's 1 inch and 7/8.
Cool.
Per strip. So I'll trim this down.
So this is where your Olfa little ruler comes in really handy, doesn't it?
It does.
And it's see-through, and so you can really see through to the fabrics there. Very clear, very easy. And it also comes with a rotary cutter and the mat that you can see Jo using here. $38.95 gets you quilting, basically. Gets you the ability to get quilting, because then you've got your mat, you've got your rotary cutter, and you've got your very first ruler. So if you are looking at this going, yeah, I need to do this in my life, then where do I start? Well, here, with us, with these, and absolutely fantastic value. So TQGQ60, and then pop in some fabric and off you go.
All the things in this kit are vital. I mean, a little square like this for patchwork is just brilliant. It saves so much time, and it's so handy.
One of those things that once you've got it, haven't you?
Yes.
You know, you're not having to reinvest in it. If you buy a good quality, good value one like today, then you've got it. That's it. You're good to go. And
they have a little hole, and you can hang them on your...
Oh, nice.
Decorate your sewing room wall with them.
We've had a message from Pearl. Hello, Pearl. Oh, we've given her life back. Because she loves every minute of the show. Oh, no, thank you, Pearl. We can only be here if you watch. There's no point in us being here otherwise. Oh, I'm fine.
So I'm going for it. It always makes me nervous cutting through patchwork. And I'm measuring from the side in each time.
Okay. So that makes life easier, doesn't it? Rather
It does.
than having to shimmy along.
There we go. I'm sorry, my stomach's rumbling this morning.
It's one of those things, isn't it? We get up stupid early to be here. Did you drive down again today, or did you stay over?
No, I stayed over, so...
It's still a silly o'clock start for us, so it's... Do you eat before... Breakfast at 4 o'clock in the morning? We all love that.
Yeah.
Don't we?
Hotels aren't serving.
No, they're
That's
not.
how, no.
No, they don't want to. How rude of them. So no, with many a guest has stood here with a rumbly tummy. I can tell you that. Ah, lovely. So you do it into 9 mini blocks.
You do.
Oh,
And it's a way of doing really tiddly patchwork without sort of having to handle, and so tiddly shape to tiddly shape.
This is what we're doing. This is, when we talk tiddly, this is what we're talking about. Isn't that pretty? Now, you see, this is possibly one of those things that I would make up, sort of do the spirally one. What would we call that? The pinwheel.
Yes.
I'd make up a lot of the pinwheels and then just do these. And I think it would then be quite therapeutic. Cut, 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 and just get used to it. Really lovely. So this, of course, the instructions for this all in this book here, which is really rather fab. TQGQ60. Oh, it's for the rotary cutter. And oh, let me show you that. Sorry. Here we go. Inches on one side, centimetres on the other, and your rotary cutter. And look, you see, there's your ruler. It's quite difficult to see because obviously it is sort of see-through, which is what we need. There's your rotary cutter, and this is from Alpha, who know a thing or two about quilting. Now, here we go. So you've got the perfect starter kit. It's all there, ready to go. Nice. The first time that's been on air.
Is it?
Yeah, as a kit, which is lovely.
It's a really nice set.
So back to your Tula pink.
From the book, once you've done those cuts into thirds, there are 2 arrangements you can do. So I've done the first one.
And are they both known as a disappearing hourglass?
I think so, yes.
Wow. Oh, yeah, no, look, that is the... Okay.
So this will be... If you're looking at this and thinking, that's really small and fiddly, I don't want to do it in that size, do one with a 10-inch square.
Do it bigger, yeah.
Exactly the same.
So that's your hourglass, but it's... Oh, look, yeah. Oh, I see it. It's like one of those things, what do you see first? Because there's your hourglass going across there in that one. Or across... It's clever. It's like optical illusions, some of these, aren't they?
They are, and especially when you put them together as well. I like seeing a quilt and thinking, can I work out what the block is from it? Because sometimes it's virtually impossible.
Yeah. Hats off to quilters out there. Amazing. So you arrange it as per the book.
Whichever one you want. So I'll go for this one and then I'll sew these together.
Lovely.
Now.
And do you just methodically go through one by one?
Yes.
And just double check each time you pick one up to sew which side you're sewing?
Yes. Just make sure. I mean, I would leave it like that next to my sewing machine and sew it bit by bit and keep them all in position. Otherwise, I would lose track. I often, I mean, everybody's done it. You finish a block and you look at it and you think, oh, something's
a bit
not
squiffy
quite
there.
right,
Yeah.
and there'll be a piece that's gone in the wrong way.
Some people say they purposefully sew in a mistake.
Like a map, like a signature.
Yeah, just because then they know that it's the stress and the pressure's off because everything has a slight mistake in, and that makes us human.
Have I?
There we go. Tracy's messaged in. Hello, Tracy. She says, Jo is such a pleasure to watch and listen to.
Oh, thank you.
There you go, Jo. So great shows as always. Now, Jo is going to be back with us with Panda Pop at 10 o'clock. We're very excited about Panda Pop.
I do love the panda.
Now, that's your design, isn't it, Panda Pop?
It is, and it's been in a past issue of Love Patchwork and Quilting.
So if you know what we're talking about, you know Panda Pop is coming up. If you're not, then we've got an absolute treat for you coming up at 10 o'clock.
Right, shall I do something with the strips quickly?
Yes.
We'll move this.
So you sew those together, job done, as per the book. Strips. Oh, yeah. Oh, look, you've got the strips here.
I've got some of the...
Oh, so this is your Joel Dewberry. I always want to call him Dewberry. So this is your Joel. Nice. And these are your pre-cut fabric strips, design strips, whatever you want to call them. A lot of you will know them as jelly rolls, but we can't call them that because that's only Moda ones. Anything else has to be called design strips, fabric strips, design rolls. If you hear any of those terms, it's basically 2.5-inch strips, selvage to selvage. Boom. So we've got these £57.95 and they're... Right, I love these. The colours in here, beautiful.
They are. They're really... fresh sort of colours, beautiful this time of year when you want a bit of colour back.
He's got some beautiful almost mustards in there with greys and teals, really modern, really fresh. He's a graphic designer as well as being a fabric designer, and I think that really shows through with a lot of his work. So what are we cutting here? I'm going to cut from the strip. I'm going to make some of these flying geese. Oh, nice. They're really easy to do, but I want some 2.5-inch squares, and it's a 2.5-inch deep strip. Right. So I'm just using the ruler to measure and cut 2.5. And that makes it pretty easy, doesn't it? It does. Awesome. Very nice. So I'll just cut 4 out. And then will this make one block? You need 2 to make this block. You need 2 of the squares. Right. No, yes, 2 of the squares and then 1 of the longer piece. Ooh. So if you're after a reference for all of these, so maybe you're going, yes, I want to make a flying geese. Oh, no, you see, that's... Where do you put the plural on that? Flying geese, if you just want one, is it a flying goose? Don't know. Where is it? Maybe it's just a goose on its own. Maybe I should make 2 just so. Goose. Yeah, no, it's called flying geese. I can't even find it. What page is it? 26. Oh, I've got a page or so to go. There's your... Oh, you see you've got a disappearing pinwheel. The names of these are just fab. So we're now making... Where are we? Next page. Oh, you get a lot, don't you, in here? Where are you, cheeky geese? In here. There we go. This is what we're looking at here. There you go. So £6.95. There's a lot of information crammed into this, and you can have it just lying flat. It is called a companion, and this is why, because you just have it there flat on your desk all the time. And this is what we're making, but quickly because we're nearly out of time. Short of time, aren't we? So 4.5-inch strips for the rectangle, 2.5 for that. All the measurements are in there. Okay. So you want to put the 1 square to one side, and using a water erasable pen, draw across the diagonal, and then use that line to sew along. Oh, right. Okay, so this here is a double length square. Double length, well, it's a rectangle, isn't it? It's not a square. Double the length. Or did you say that was 4 inches along? This one's 4.5. Oh, 4.5. Okay. Yes, it wouldn't quite make a square, would it? No. Is that right? It's very early in the morning for maths. Yeah, it would have to be 5 along, wouldn't it? Anyway, yes, hello. Em, hello. Well, thank you very much for messaging in. Oh, she sent us a disappearing pinwheel. So thank you for that. Are we going to be able to show that or not? We will later. There we go. So I've stitched along the line, but use the ruler because you have the quarter-inch mark. And just cut away the excess. I would save these. I would save everything. But you see, that's very prominent, isn't it? A quarter of an inch mark on there, because that's a measurement you're going to use a lot with your quilting. I'm coming to realise. And I would give that a press, but we're short of time, so I'll just go for this. Oh, so you do one each end? One each end, and this one goes in the opposite direction. There we go. Beautiful. Lovely. Now, Jo is going to be back with us again at 10 o'clock with our Panda Pop Quilt. Ooh, can't wait to see that. Next up, we've got Brennan, who's bringing us, well, all sorts of gorgeous quilty things. So then we chop along again on that 1/4 inch line.
Take that
This
off.
is where this kit is so handy, isn't it, with your rotary cutter and your mat.
And there you have. And there's so many different formations.
Let's show that. So that's fab. So that there is that one there, and then you just pop them in there however you wish. Beautiful. And that's why these work so beautifully. So grab your Joel Dewberry $57.95 with your 40 fabric strips there. Joe's going to be back in an hour with this. Oh, yay! Panda Pop's coming up in an hour's time. Next up is Lucy Brennan. Thank you ever so much. Demystifying the wonderful world of quilting and their funny technical terms. Thank you for joining us. It is all about the patchwork and the quilting today. So stay with us all morning and we'll see you in just one moment after the break.
Did you know there are multiple ways you can contact us, even if it's just to ask a question? Our friendly team are always on standby. You can call our customer service team at 0800 112 4433, email us at help@sewingquarter.com, visit our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter @sewingquarter, and even message us through our website, and our presenters will answer your questions live on air. Sewing Quarter is at the very heart of sewing, as we bring you all things sewing and quilting. The team behind us live and breathe sewing day to day. We strive to bring you exclusive offers, exciting live demonstrations, and most importantly, we will custom cut fabric to your specification in our very own cutting room. We will also be bringing you TV exclusives that you won't be able to find anywhere else. So come and join us today at the Sewing Quarter.
Welcome to the Sewing Quarter!
The Sewing Quarter is a new inspirational sewing and quilting channel here to help educate our viewers with some of the best designers in the business. We hope to bring you some exciting demonstrations with some of the top industry experts. We're part of the Immediate Media family. Immediate Media is a fast-growing multi-platform company who operate some of the most loved brands across the UK. Our brands range from our first TV shopping channel adventure with Jewellery Maker to several successful magazines such as Simply Sewing, Radio Times, BBC Good Food and many more. We've been working incredibly hard to set up and bring you our new exciting channel, and we hope that we can help inspire you with new ideas and projects.
Join us on Thursday the 9th of March for a special day of quilting, brought to you by our friends at Love Patchwork and Quilting Magazine. Love Patchwork and Quilting is the UK's #1 best-selling quilting magazine, packed with gorgeous photography and easy-to-follow guides, so even beginners will be creating cool quilts in no time. Joe Carter and Lucy Brennan will be bringing 4 hours of modern quilting techniques and trend-led projects. So tune in on Thursday the 9th of March for Love Patchwork and Quilting Day, only on Sewing Quarter.
Hello, welcome back to the Sewing Quarter on our Love Patchwork and Quilting Day. Now, if you weren't aware, the Sewing Quarter is part of a bigger family, and Love Patchwork and Quilting, the magazine, is part of that family. So we're really lucky to have that wealth of knowledge and experience within our family to bring to air for you, and also to bring these beautiful fabrics that we've got for you. Now, today we are all about the patchwork and quilting, and we're going to have a look at how to do this. Now this is a Dresden plate design. Love the names of all of these. I would look at that and have no clue. So happily, Lucy Brennan is here today to show us exactly how to do that. She's got the tools, she's got everything that you need to get going with that. Now, in order to make something as beautiful as that, we need fabric, and we've got that for you today. This is from these beautiful bright colours here, are all from the designer Alison Glass. She is an American designer, and just look, when you first glance at them, you just think, well, do you know what? They're really rather beautiful. But when you look deeply in there, you've got butterflies, insects, birds, you've got stars in there. Now these are all £5.45 per half metre, so you can decide whether you want that for your backing, the main event, how you want to mix and match these colours. But I think you'll agree the colours work absolutely beautifully together. Very impressed with these. MDMY41 for your Alison Glass citrus there. That's for a half metre. That's a lot of fabric. And then over here, look at this one. So this is the sort of pinky purple. It's called raisin. So we've got citrus and raisin. These are yummy, aren't they? So this is your raisin colour. But again, you can see in there the birds. You've got stars. You've got insects in there. You've got all sorts going on. It's a truly beautiful print there. £5.45. And then this one here just brings in all of these things, but in more detail. So whereas you've got the outline of the birds and the bees, maybe. There we go. Then we've got, there you go. There's your bird. There's your bee down there. And then there are all your florals. And so this is sort of them in more detail, whereas the other one we just had the outlines of. So all three of these fabrics working exquisitely together. And this one's called Tide, £5.45 per half a metre. So you decide how much of these you want. BAMY94. Do you want to see that in a... Let's have a quick look. Really rather lovely. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Really lovely. Nice. A very soft cotton to work with. Beautiful. Lovely. There we go. Now, who is with us this hour? I hear you ask. It is... We've described her as the Queen of Quilting, Lucy Brennan. Hello, hello. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very well, thank you.
Now, this is what you've designed today. The Dresden plate.
Dresden plate quilt block. Yeah, it's a traditional quilt block, which I love traditional blocks, but it just gives it a different look with the modern
Doesn't
fabrics.
it just?
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. So it's bringing quilting and your patchwork bang up to date with gorgeous modern fabrics. So how are we making this?
Well, what I've done is a full Dresden plate.
Yes.
For that quilt block. And what I'm going to do today is use the template and create a quarter block as well to give a different look.
Ooh, nice. Now, we were saying how lovely this would be on the corners of any quilt. Actually, I would quite like this on the corner of a bag, a sort of a sunrise on the corner of a bag.
That would be lovely. Lots of different things that you can do with this block. So I'm using the Creative Grids ruler.
Now, Creative Grids. These are often used by top designers, aren't they? What makes these so good?
I have a lot of these templates at home, and they're the rulers. And they're a really lovely quality, a really nice acrylic, and they have this grippy stuff.
Hey, look,
these
whatever
circles
works. These grippy circles
that help, keep it in position, so it's nice and steady. And always the markings on them are fantastic as well.
Really clear.
Really clear.
So here we go. This is, if I put that against my jacket there, can you see a bit better? So you can see in there, these are the grippy bits that grip onto the fabric so you don't slip when you're part way through cutting, because that's really important. Now, Creative Grids was a husband and wife family company, and then their daughter took over. Her name's Rachel. We call her Rachel the Ruler here. I don't know if she knows. I think she knows that, Rachel the Ruler. And basically she went, yeah, you know, these are fab, all of these cutting devices, but I'm just going to make them a little bit different. And so, you know, you get this non-slip grip on there. So you're getting, in this, you're going to get, let's get this right, your non-slip Dresden plate ruler, that, and the circle there, in this kit. Awesome.
So that's what you need to make the Dresden plate block.
What are we using with it?
So, you can just do the fans if you wanted. There are ways of not using the circle, but I like circles. I like curves. Yeah, I think it's fun. So it also comes with a leaflet, which is most helpful.
Okay.
And all the details of everything that you need are on this leaflet, and it gives you different ideas of things that you can do. And it also gives you all the measurements. So,
can I just show that here? So don't throw away the packaging, basically.
Yes, but don't. And it's all folded up neatly.
Oh,
you could easily get rid of it, but with all the Creative Grid rulers, they always give the full instructions and different ideas of things that you can do with it as well. So definitely keep hold of the packaging and the leaflet there. So it's got a handy chart that tells you your finished block size, the size of the plate, which is like the petals on the Dresden plate, they're called plates, and then the size that you need to cut. So that's really handy. You can make it goes from an 8-inch up to a 20-inch block.
With that little ruler?
With just this.
Really?
Yeah. So you can
That's good, that is,
an
isn't it?
8-inch finished block all the way up to a 20-inch finished block. Just with a border on, that's a baby quilt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just with this?
Just with this.
That's so clever. This is what we're making. Rather beautiful. Oh, yes. Just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
So the full Dresden plate block that you see there, that has 20 plates.
And a plate is each of those petals?
The petal parts, yeah.
You see, that to me looks like a beautiful daisy.
It does to me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think partly because I've used those colours, the colour combination, and using the 3 colours as well makes it look like a daisy. Yeah, I love that. It really works. That's my favourite flower, daisy.
Beautiful.
Yes. So, the first thing that you need to do is cut a strip.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with the 6-inch plates, which is what I've used there as well. So you just cut a 6-inch strip. Okay. So depending on the size that you want, it's on that chart. It'll tell you what size strip. So whatever size you want, it's got all the measurements on the ruler there. Whatever size of plate you want, you cut your strip to that.
And it's got, am I seeing a 1/2-inch seam allowance on there as well?
Well, yes, along the sides, yes, it does. It has that in it. And when we come to construct the plates, you'll see how that's done. So the top bit doesn't need a 1/2 inch because of how it comes together. So to cut then, I literally just go from one side. I've trimmed off my selvages already. Right. So just take that bit off. Then I'm going to turn it round. Right. And you just keep cutting. So I know that it's a 6-inch. I'm going to have to. But sorry. That was I went it a bit further, but that's a long strip.
If only we had a rotating table so we didn't have to keep walking.
I know. I'll keep going back this way as I'm cutting now.
Like this one.
And you can, I'm doing it here just a single layer of fabric, but you can, fold the fabric in half and do, if you're comfortable doing that. So
Lorraine's messaged
then you get more than one at a time.
Thank you for your message, Lorraine. Oh, she says how lovely and simply Lucy explains things.
Oh, thank you.
That's what we like.
Thank you, Lorraine.
But this is it, isn't it? You know, I would look at that beautiful Dresden plate and go, I wouldn't know where to start. And then I would look at these and go, I don't know how to use the tools. It's not going to happen for me.
And I think even that's that one there, I believe, is a 16-inch finished quilt block. Right. And you would look at it as well and think, oh, it's a lot of cutting, what a lot of faff, those angles, very difficult. But this makes it so easy. Right. And the fact that you can cut out, you can fold your strip and cut out more than one at a time. It's not directional, so it doesn't,
so it's
very
fabric
easy to do, yeah. The other thing, just to mention quickly, and I have done it with the circle on that one, you can fussy cut as well, and because you've got those seam allowances, depending on the pattern, so if I wanted the bird or the bee on each plate, I could, centre it and get it, and get each of those little creatures on one of the plates if I wanted. So you just continue doing that, and then you'll end up with...
Oh, all of these.
all of these.
All of these appear.
Magic. It is very quick though. It's very quick, very easy.
Especially if you're going through multiple layers as well.
Yeah, and
cutting.
you're just going up and down. You've already cut the curve, so there's no waste once you've cut that strip to the length that you want.
After these grids, so that you can make this Dresden plate, this is what you're getting. £20.95. For me, it's one of those things, it's a one-off. Once you've got it, you've got it. You're never going to have to, unless you lose it. Don't lose it. This is the only time that you'll have to buy it. VLCQ32, £20.95. Nice. Very nice.
And you'll see as we go along, I think there's so many things that you can do with this block. There's lots of different ways to use it, and we were saying about borders or corners as well, and using it that way. And also it's quite popular style to do medallion type quilts, where you have a central block in the middle and then you have different blocks going around.
Nice.
And I think that would be a beautiful centre for a medallion quilt as well.
Gorgeous. This is it, isn't it? Once you start, God, where do you stop? You just don't, do you?
There are so many things that you can think of.
See why it gets addictive.
Yes, it really does.
Yes,
yes,
yes.
So today I'm going to do what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay this out so that you can see what it is I'm talking about. So I've got the backing fabric there. I chose the linear print.
Now this is from, I want to say Makawa.
Yes,
it is, isn't it? And it's your vanilla linear. So there's a slight texture in there printed on, so it looks a bit linen-y.
Yes, it does, and it's nice. I use solids quite a lot. I'm going to be using solids a bit later on, but I think sometimes it is nice when you're using pattern fabrics just to have a little bit of texture in that background. Just gives a really nice finish to it.
Brings it to life a little bit, rather than it being flat, doesn't it? £4.95 per half a metre. That's a great one. Things like that, your basics like that, your nudes, if you will, your naturals, have in your stash. I always have them, whether it's just a back of pillow or a cushion or something, great. And then obviously with your quilting, perfect to have. But of course, talking of fabrics, should we take a look at the ones that you've been using today? So this is all designed, the next three that we're going to show you, by Alison Glass. And you can see, looking in there, when you sort of adjust your eyes, you can see the bird, you can see the bee, but it's not obvious necessarily when you first look at it. That's what I love about this. You've got to kind of really look at it. Designed by Alison Glass. These are your sun prints, and that's your raisin, £5.45 per half a metre. Next one is the most popular one coming up, which is... Here we go, the one that Lucy's been cutting, which is your Tide, that beautiful teal.
It's such a lovely colour.
Ooh, it's gorgeous. £5.45 per half a metre of that. BAMY 94. Of course, if you're unsure on how to order more than half a metre, then just phone our free phone number 0800 112 4433. Do you want to see the last of the Alison Glass ones?
Yes.
Let's have a look at the citrus, and then we'll crack on with getting this done.
I changed, but this one might be my favourite.
Really?
Yeah,
the old
I think
citrus.
so. It's such a it's really happy colour and print.
Nice. Really beautiful. And any second now we'll get you that shot of this beautiful citrus. Look at that. You can really see there, you've got the birds, the bees, and it's almost, the little speckly bits in it. It's almost like, when you look at the sun, and you're not really meant to, you know how you get that little block, the little blind spot in your eye. It's almost like that, isn't it? I wonder if that's where she's coming from when she calls
And even the dots
prints.
are clever, not just having the full dot, they've got variations.
Oh, it's really well thought out,
Really
and
nice.
you've got a star in there as well.
Yep.
Oh,
Which we
nice.
love.
Now back to the old creative grids.
Yes.
How do we work with these?
So
then?
this is another variation that you can do. So this is just using 5 of the plates, and I'm going to create like a quarter circle.
Nice.
I'm just showing you, this is going to give you a rough idea of what it is I'm doing. So I was thinking sunshine.
Yes.
Or like a sunset,
Yes.
using the purple and the yellow
Yes.
together.
Nice.
And there are tricks for doing this circle, which I'll show you once we've sewn the plates together. But this is just the variation that I'm going to show you today. But the steps I'm showing you are exactly what you would do to sew the full plate.
Full caboodle.
Yes. So
as I like
I'll
to call
talk
it.
through that as well.
Awesome.
So the first thing we need to do is get these shapes looking like those shapes. They don't
yet
no.
look like that, because these have got flat edges and those have got pointy edges.
Yes.
As we're at, no idea how.
So
Yeah.
it's
They
a
look
nice
like ties.
Yes, it's a quick and easy trick.
Okay, I'm happy for a quick and easy.
It's not really a trick, it's a method. There's no magic involved.
Oh, you
I
disappoint.
know, sorry.
I want rabbits out of hats.
So
I've got pandas out of quilts later.
that panda.
It's gorgeous, isn't he?
I know, I'm going to be watching that. So this is the plate as is.
Yes.
This is going to be the central part that becomes covered by the circle.
Yes.
So we're working with this longer edge.
Right.
Which is the outer part of the plate. So all we're going to do is fold it right sides together.
Yeah.
And we're going to sew along the top there.
Okay.
Okay, trust me. So we're going to sew the...
I'm a doctor. I'm a quilting doctor.
I'm a quilting doctor. So we're going to sew that, we're going to take it to the machine and just pass it through like that, sewing along
I'm going to guess.
that
Quarter
top
inch.
edge. Quarter inch
Yay!
seam. Woohoo!
I think once you just assume that everything in quilting is going to be a quarter of an inch, then it just, you can stop thinking about it. Just assume quarter of an inch.
Quarter of an inch.
And if you're a quilter, just whack that quarter inch foot on.
Yeah, the
You're
quarter inch
done.
foot makes things so easy. It's really, really simple. And this machine has a special setting for because it's got a wider foot, it's got a special setting for the quarter inch.
Nice.
But on your normal machine, it's just
You'll know your machine.
standard stitch.
Is this the machine you've got now?
It is.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Can we tell that story?
So exciting. What story?
Was it?
Oh, my dad and my nan.
Yeah.
Yes, I've said that.
Oh,
Yeah.
have you told everyone?
I did.
Oh,
I did tell everybody.
brilliant.
My nan and my dad very, very kindly, generously grouped together and bought this for me.
Because you came down, didn't you? Because we had a day where we trained all of our designers on our sewing machines, because we've got a whole sort of stable, if you will, of Elna sewing machines.
Mm-hmm.
And you fell in love with this, didn't you?
I was nearly crying on the day at how amazing it was and all the things it could do. And then I went back home to my machine, and my dad had phoned, how was the day, and I was talking to my nan, and I said, they've got this machine that basically makes you lunch and does everything for you. And I wasn't angry, I wasn't sad, I was just telling her about the day and what we'd done. I said, we've gone on this machine, it was amazing, wonderful, da-da-da-da-da. And then a couple of days later, they rang me and said, we've had a talk about it, and we're going to get it for you. Yeah, it was my birthday in January, so it was...
Oh my goodness,
yeah.
So this is now your machine.
So it is.
No wonder you asked
So I'm
for it
still
and
getting
love it.
used to it and trying. It can do so many different things, but yeah, I love
Including
it.
making you lunch. It doesn't make you lunch.
No, it doesn't.
Don't get it thinking
Clearly
it's
it
a
does.
chef.
It doesn't, but it near enough good for me. That's how good that's how happy I am with it.
Now, on the show today, what we're working with are the creative grids. We're making a Dresden plate. Do you want to sew that and then show us where we get to with this?
Okay.
So I'm eagerly awaiting how a flat end from that is going to turn into a pointy bit. In your pack for £20.95, you're going to get the circle and the triangle, almost a triangle-y bit, and of course your booklet to show you how to use it. Can I just?
Yes, of course.
You see, you're right. That does fold up. When you look at the picture of it, this is the bit that's just. It comes like this.
Yes.
And you go, oh, that's great.
You might not think it was anything. You might not think that was anything.
But you'll get that. Let me put that. There you go. You'll get that. Take this out. Do not throw this away. Don't throw this away. You'll regret it. Because that gives you a guide on how to use it. So if you've missed the show, we're doing this down here. Is that what we're doing?
That's what we're doing.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
And there's all... Because this is a whole other show, isn't it? How to make that circular.
Yes.
Maybe we'll do that. There we go. So we're doing this one that looks like a tie.
Yes, it does.
It does?
Yeah, it does.
Could you make ties out of this?
I made a tie for my son, for my sisters to wear to my sister's wedding.
Oh, really?
I did, yeah. I'm never making another one.
Okay.
Ever again.
All right, we'll stay clear of ties
I might
then.
make a pretend one that looks like a tie, but is a Dresden plate.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with that.
Oh, a plate wouldn't be a Dresden. So I'm doing this without...
So you just sewed across...
It's like I'm at home, just making it myself. So I've just sewn across that edge there using...
Quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all you do to create the point is poke it through. And I have... sorry, Mum. I think my mum left this knitting needle at my house. But it turns out it's a perfect...
It's really handy.
point
Thanks,
turn
Mum.
around her, so I will give it you back, I'm sorry. Yeah. So just ever so gently...
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Yeah. So ever so gently, you know, not with
don't
anything
bust
sharp,
through your,
but, you know, if you've got a little... Because these are just quite fine points. So I've just turned that through,
like
so it's like a little hood. Yes, it is like a little
That's
hood.
amazing. So this is your citrus fabric that you're looking at there. Absolutely beautiful.
Now, the trick here, to get your points nice and even, is as you're straightening this up, because you're just going to finger press it. You don't really need to press it with an iron. You're going to finger press it, but you want to make sure that this is even, you know, it's even on both sides, so it's coming down, because you don't want it, you know, you don't want to fold it like that.
No, don't do that, no.
You want it nice and even, so you want to try and make this bit in the centre.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to have to fold it over to look at it.
Excellent.
So I can see it. And then just give it a finger press. But that's what's going to make, you know, as you sew the points together, that's what's going to keep them looking symmetrical and a nice edge with the points. Because if they're wonky, it will really show as you're sewing them together. So this bit is really key. It's only finger press, you know, it's only with your fingers, but you just want it to look
like that,
even, so as though it's going straight across the points there.
Awesome. I mean, you could presumably use your ruler, your creative grid again to just check that it is straight.
Yes, you can. Yes.
If you want to be absolutely sure, because if it's one of those things, it's like those things that go around social media of the things that are just a little bit out.
Yes.
Just
a little bit out. But I err on the side of not perfection, and I think when you're hand making something, you know, if you're doing a whole quilt of these, I don't really have the time to be. You know, I mean, you can, if you're at type A, go ahead. But personally, I just eyeball, you know, you can eyeball it and just kind of tell. And I think a handmade thing should have a handmade look to it. It doesn't need to be, obviously we want it nice and as good as we can, but it doesn't need to be absolutely perfect.
So this is what we're making today. We're making the Dresden plate. Fabulous names in these things.
I know, they're lovely, and I love the tradition and the history behind all of these, you know, quilt blocks. It's so interesting. But then I think to give it an updated look and to use these modern fabrics in these bright, vibrant colours just gives it a you know, I haven't done anything different, but it gives it a twist to a traditional
You're happy
quilt.
to have this in your home. It's going to go with your modern furniture, with all those sorts of things. But it's also going to be a talking point as well, because it's going to be an absolute thing of beauty. So, and just made using your creative grids. So that and that, we haven't even used that bit yet. Just these.
No, we're coming to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew all of these, so sides together along this top edge. I'm going to just
Whilst you do that, shall I go look at
these
the fabric?
other ones? Yes.
Would now be a good opportunity.
That's a good opportunity.
Come with me.
So I am chain piecing these. I'm just going to continuously sew all those tops together.
I'm going to look at this because it's rather lovely. Our poor old floor manager put that back all nicely, and I just come and rip it off again to have a look. But this is, do you know what? What I haven't said is that if you're a dressmaker, obviously today is our patchwork and quilting day, but just look at the drape on that. So if you wanted this for dressmaking, then do. But today is all about your patchwork and quilting, and we've chosen these 3 colours because we just think they work so beautifully together. All by the designer Alison Glass, an American designer. It is just beautiful. It's that lagoon blue background there. It's tranquil. You've got the leaves in there, you've got birds, flowers, you've got bees, it's all in there. So it really is, relaxing and a real calming fabric. Absolutely beautiful. It's a light to medium weight fabric, but it's got a good close weave to it, so it's an absolute joy to work with. And that's what you want. It's not going to move around too much, which we really rather love. So that's your tide. It is just £5.45 per half a metre. Lots of you going for this today. Lots of multi-buyers on this, because of course you can buy it as much as you wish. So if half a metre, quite frankly, isn't going to do your project, that's okay. You can just add some more in, and we will cut that as a continuous length. You won't get sort of, say you put in a metre, you put 2 in the quantity, so you get 2 half metres. You're not going to get 2 half metres. You'll get a metre length. We'll cut it as a metre length. That was very important for us when we came here at the Sewing Quarter, to be able to allow you to do that, so that you can do, because if you're dressmaking, you want that longer length. If you're using it to back your quilt, you want that longer length. You want it all cut in one length, which is why we've got this opportunity, and it's fabulous to have that. Let's have a look at the raison. Here we go. So here we go. This is your fresh, vibrant colour here. Look at that. Just gorgeous. So £5.45 for your Alison Glass sun print fabric in raisin. Now, when you first look at it, you just think, yeah, it's got a nice print on there. But then when you actually look at it, you see in that rich colour, you've got birds, bees, stars. You've got all sorts in there. It's a real interesting print that the more you look at, the more you see. And again, light to medium weight fabric here, perfect for quilting, perfect for dressmaking, anything like that. Absolutely gorgeous. £5.45 per half a metre. UWMY03. I remember when I first started going into fabrics, was when I first started sewing again. And I'd had probably a good 15-year gap and come back to sewing, and I just wasn't sure which fabrics would do what for me, what I should be using which fabrics for. So apologies if it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but for those who are learning and who are going, well, is that going to be suitable? Is that fabric suitable for dressmaking? Yes, it is. Is it suitable for bag making? Yes, it is. All of those projects. It's that lovely beautiful draping cotton here. So this is your citrus colour here. Let's get a shot of that so that you can really see the detailing in here. This is like the raisin. Okay, so it's vibrant, it's so bold, but look at that. It's just a happy sun. That is, isn't it? That is sunshine in a fabric. Absolutely beautiful. MDMY41. That's your code, and it's £5.45. Lucy, back to you, cutting out there. What are you cutting?
I'm cutting the circle.
What do you do? Oh, okay. Sneaky. I'll be there in a second. So we're all about the Dresden plate. Look at me tidying. This doesn't happen at home. Ironing,
just
tidying.
Leave it. Just
you'd think my house would be immaculate, wouldn't you? I get all of my tidying fix here.
Yes.
And then...
Okay, so I've
done all those.
Yes, so I've sewn all those together, and then I've just finger pressed those points so they're nice. And then the next step is to sew these together.
Awesome.
So again, we're going to use a 1/4 inch seam.
Yes.
And there's a handy tip in the booklet about sewing these together, which I'm just going to share with you, because.
And this is the booklet that comes with the Dresden plate ruler and circle.
Yes, because it goes through step by step, talks you through it. They're really, really easy to follow, the instructions. I would be tempted, as I usually do, to just chain piece these together. But actually, the points come out neater if you start sewing a 1/4 inch down from the top.
Okay. Go
back up.
Right.
And then go all the way down.
Why?
I just think as they fold out,
yeah,
it just you're not going to see any of the ends of the thread, you know, when you come to trim threads, things like that, and it just stops any sort of puckers or anything because you're starting lower down and then going back up.
Have you had that thing where you start right on it and it almost sort of pushes it
yes,
in?
I did
It's
that the
annoying,
other day
isn't it?
on television.
Oh, did you? Oh, lovely. Never a better place, than to give that a go.
So I'll sew these together. So I'm just starting, I mean, you know, I'm saying 1/4 of an inch down.
Just not right at the top. Is that what we're going with?
Yeah.
Not right
so,
at the top.
you just want to do a couple of stitches and then go backwards to the top and then go all the way down.
Look at this machine, it just eats it up, doesn't it? Just do that. Thanks very much.
That's not even on the. It's not even on the fastest. I've just realised.
Hey, beautiful.
So I do it again, and we just keep going, doing that each time.
I'm so pleased that you've used these two fabrics together because it's that sunrise, isn't it? That sunburst that we're getting here.
Yeah, and you
Absolutely
might think
gorgeous.
purple and yellow,
yes,
but it works
it
really, really well.
Oh, and then you throw in that teal as well,
and that's what's lovely about having a designer working on the fabric collections. That's their job, to make sure that all those colours go together.
I always thought I was good with colour. And then actually coming here and seeing how the designers put colours together, I realise I'm really conservative.
Sometimes it's good to be bold.
And I love this.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this. You know, because my house is quite traditional. But actually, I want to get this colour in my house. I want to get these. And I would have been nervous to have put these together. But when I see them like this, I'm like, yes, that works so well.
They really do.
Well. My lovely friend Tilly Rose says that if you can think of your interior as a garden, that the colours don't necessarily, the flowers don't necessarily all match, but when you look at the overall effect of the garden, it's absolutely beautiful. And that's how I like to think of my fabrics.
Yes.
That's how I justify it.
I think that's a good justification.
Yeah.
I'm just going to show you, shall I show you here?
Yeah.
When I'm coming to attach the next piece, I'm literally just laying it over. So here are the pieces I've put together. I'm now sewing this one. I'm just going to lay it over, make sure it's matched up at the top and at the bottom.
No pinning.
So as I'm sewing, you can of course pin. I'm just rogue. You just
/expert.
/ done it several times before. But of course you can pin, yes, absolutely. And if you're a beginner, go ahead and pin. Or if you just feel more comfortable using pins,
yes,
of course you can, yes.
Or go rogue.
I just went way too far then before I backstitch, but let's catch that bit.
Yay, and down it goes. This is actually coming together pretty quickly. I thought this was going to take
No, it
forever.
does come together quickly.
Now,
and it's just straight. We've not done anything but straight
perfect
stitches, so it's really easy.
Now, Lucy did to show us the full Dresden plate. We're doing sort of a sunrise effect. I want this on a bag.
It would.
That's what I want on a bag. Just, although maybe on one side I'd need the sunrise, and then maybe on the other I'd need the full flower.
Yeah, you could do that. See, I just think in quilts because that's my default.
I wonder what would happen if you did the raisin and the citrus and did that onto that tealy background, the tide background, because then it's going to look like the sky, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, yes.
That would be a bit special.
Yeah. I think... I'm not sure if there's other colours on the website.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. You'll have to have a look.
Yeah.
Certainly on this hour. Do you know what? Thank you very much for joining us. It's all about your patchwork and quilting. So we've got a little special thing for you because here at Immediate Media, of which we are part of a bigger group. So it's not just us standalone. We are part of a big group. And Love Patchwork and Quilting Magazine is part of our family. So we've got a special offer for you today. If you would like to give this a go, and this is online only, you can't ring up for this. This is only for online. If you would like to get 3 issues for only £3, that's less than the price of one normal magazine, then that's for today only. Go and have a look. That is online. T's and C's apply, all of that malarkey. But go and have a look because then if you are absolutely smitten with patchwork and quilting, this is a great magazine to get you going.
It is fabulous, and it is you know, has more of a modern aesthetic to it, the magazine. But I've designed projects for the magazine as well, and one of the ones I did, I can't remember when, was,
a while ago.
was another traditional block, and just in modern fabrics again, and
Changes
so just
it, doesn't
updating. Yeah, so it's not all modern necessarily. I think there's something in the magazine for absolutely everybody.
Nice. It is amazing, isn't it, how fabrics has changed the feel of it? Because suddenly this is a sunrise.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So there we go. So that's our quarter of a Dresden plate.
You could do this as a peacock.
Oh, it could be a peacock.
In the blue.
Yes, it could be a peacock.
Ooh.
So,
but not today.
So the nice thing about this size is it will fit on a smaller block. So you could, if you wanted, have this on a smaller block, but equally it will fit on a larger block. So if you wanted to have a lot of space here, you could just cut your square larger, and you could do one in each corner and something else in the middle, maybe some applique or something.
Different coloured blocks behind, and you made your full circle but with different coloured blocks behind.
Yes.
So
many options, endless.
Oh,
I'm going to iron this.
I need more hours in my day.
And then show the circle.
Okay.
I think we all need more hours in our day, don't we?
I've often said metric minutes would be the way forward. If you could get 100 seconds in every minute,
that would be
that would make life easier, wouldn't it?
So I am going to be using the mini iron momentarily. Oopsie daisy.
Okay.
But I'm just going to press the seams on this first using the larger one.
Right.
Now with this, when I was pressing seams, I just went with the fabric.
Right.
So I chose, I don't press them open, I just press them to the side.
Okay.
But the fabric will sort of dictates where you want to go. So you could go to the dark side, you know, and press them in.
Yeah.
Like that. Or you could have them all going.
So is it up to you? Use your common sense.
Just you decide. Yeah, it really doesn't matter. I would press to the side, but that's it.
And it literally is a press.
Easy as that. Just a press.
Lovely.
Yes. So that's that bit done.
It's so pretty.
So now the circle.
Okay, circles. Circles.
So I have different methods of doing circles.
Right.
I did one where I did the basting stitch and then I wrapped it in foil that I did for a tote bag
that.
right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning.
That's my favourite method until I did this. And I think it
you
depends.
are allowed to swap.
Yeah, I'm allowed to swap. It does depend on what your how you're going to applique it.
Right.
This is perfect for if you're going to do it by hand.
Okay.
The other way, using the foil and the cardboard, you could then machine it very easily. I mean, you can with this as well. I did on that one actually, but this is perfect for
So
for
what
hand.
have you done?
So what I'm doing is using. Sorry, could you pass me that piece of paper also? Thank you so much. Freezer paper.
Now, is that something that we can just go down the supermarket and get?
I did try and no.
Okay, right.
I couldn't find it. It's. I think you can if you live in America. It seems to be very popular there, and it is a paper that they use to wrap food up in and put in the freezer, which is why it's called. Freezer paper.
Never really heard of it.
Until I started quilting, I didn't know what freezer paper was.
I sort of assumed that freezer paper was just like baking paper, but it's not, is it?
It's not,
very,
no,
very
it isn't.
different.
It isn't baking.
So we've managed to source it for you, and this is freezer paper. This is so easy. This is made for, obviously, all your hobbies and crafting and sewing requirements. $18.95. It's cheaper than an airfare to America. 20 metres. Here, 45 centimetres by 20 metres.
And that is a lot.
That is a lot.
And I bought a big roll, I do a lot of applique and things. It's a lot. That's a lot.
No, it's how you described it to me.
Okay.
You said, okay, I have to tell you this. Lucy said to me, she said, I've got a big roll. She said, and that will last me a lifetime. And I looked at her and she said, I'm planning to live a long time.
I do, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Yeah, but there's loads in there.
So it's perfect for all your hobbies and quilting and
if you
templates.
wanted to wrap your food, you can. It's food grade.
Oh, perfect.
You know, you can, should you so desire.
Awesome.
But I would keep it for crafting because it's so useful.
You can trace through this as well. So say yesterday you bought, say, one of the Tilda books and you want to trace one of the patterns out of the back of the book.
Yes, you can. For the applique shapes, this is perfect. Absolutely perfect. So on one side, it's plastic coated. So it has, if you can see, it's like slightly shiny.
Yes.
It's got a coating on it there that's... You can kind of hear it, it's plasticky. And then the other side is paper.
Right.
So that's, you want to draw, don't try and draw on the plasticky side, ask me how I know. Draw on the paper side. In the dark, you kind of feel it first and draw on the paper side.
Or turn
save
the light
yourself a hassle and go, why is this pencil not working? Yes, and then you just cut round the shape. And then the great thing about having that plastic is it's fusible but temporarily, so it sticks temporarily when you iron it, and then you can just peel it off. So it's not a glue. It's not like interface, you know, a fusible interfacing. It's not like that. It's just paper, and it will only hold temporarily.
Okay.
But you can. I know some people use this for even English paper piecing or foundation paper piecing as well, if you wanted to. Yes.
Okay.
So. And I've heard you can put it through your printer. My friend Helen told me that, but I haven't tried it yet, so I'm not going to
so Helen,
go ahead and say that. But apparently,
freeze paper.
And Helen knows a lot. So.
She knows a lot. But look, it's got all of the instructions on how to use it down the side of the roll. This is 20 metres.
Now, if I was just going to applique, I would stick this shiny side down.
Right.
You know, and then do my needle turn.
Yes.
If that's how I would have thought that you do it. But thank you to these wonderful instructions from Creative Grids. I've learnt you put it paper side down.
Right.
And then you iron your seam.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, Creative Grids and freezer paper coming together for a beautiful marriage of easiness.
Now, I've drawn out, according to the instructions, a 3-inch circle on this freezer paper. You can see it's got a hole in the middle because I used my trusty compass.
Right.
So I measured out a 3-inch circle.
Yes.
And that's because your template then is for a 3.5.
Oh, so it's got the seam allowance.
And it's got the seam allowance, so it's a 3-inch finished circle.
Is for your fabric.
Yes.
Excellent.
So you use this to cut out your fabric, which I'll go to demonstrate it actually. Sorry, I'm going to whiz round.
Go on then, let's dance.
Because it's a little bit fiddly. I know, I have to.
I'm so happy that you're sharing this.
I got one.
Did you?
Yeah, I got one. Yeah, I did.
I'm so pleased. Okay, little things like this make me very happy. And this is your rotating cutting mat. Amazing.
Yeah.
Never seen one of these before. Very happy that we've got it on the show.
It's fabulous.
Look at this. It's a 2-piece rotating mat. If you just get fed up of wandering around trying to turn things or... It turns. Look. Yes.
So for this, I also recommend using the 28mm rotary cutter. I tried it with the 45. I've got both.
Yeah.
And I use the 45 all the time for everything, mostly. But I do have a 28 for when I'm doing, fiddly bits.
Okay.
And this is a little bit fiddly.
Okay.
And you can do it with a 45, but it's tricky. And I found I kept going back around.
Make life easy.
So make life easy and go for 28.
A little one.
So again, we can fussy cut. So that lovely bird on the print there, I'm going to put right in the centre because of these handy markings.
Yes.
I know that that's going to be right in the centre of my circle.
Now let's talk mat for a minute because it's got a handy non-stick, sort of sticky base thing. So it's, you're not going to come undone there. Now.
But you can see now, I'm going to get myself in a pickle.
You are in a pickle, so turn.
I'm just going to turn.
Oh, happiness.
And that's stayed put.
Yes.
Can move that out of the way.
It's little things like that make me so happy. If you have struggled cutting circles, or just, you know, earlier we were cutting various different shapes for quilting, having to move around a bit, this would have been perfect.
Yeah, for trimming half square triangles, perfect. You don't move, the mat moves. And you can see how easy this is with the smaller rotary cutter. With the larger one, it's just tricky to get all the way round and not have points. It is.
Tools for the job. There is your circle.
So that's my fussy cut bird. So I can use that now for another.
Yay!
Another Dresden plate at some point.
We're going to be Dresden plated up. If you need that smaller rotary cutter, it's just £10.95. Pop it in your stash. HWGQ09 is your code for that. I didn't give you any of the details, sorry, for the rotating cutting mat. We'll get back to that in a minute because I know that lots of you will be going for that. Because it's a bit of a cracker.
It's fantastic.
Good as it's a game changer.
Yeah, it is a game changer. And the thing is with quilting, there are lots and lots of tools, and there are some that are incredibly helpful, and I would recommend if people are going to be doing a lot of it, they definitely get them. Then there are things that just make life easier. You know, they really just make things so much easier. And if you're doing a lot of sewing,
this is the one.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Love it.
So here we
go. Let me give it £32.95 for the rotating, and it's Ulfa again. This is a name that I keep hearing in terms of your patchworking and quilting as being a top brand for that. So your Ulfa rotating cutting mat YWGQ48. Now £32.95. Another gadgety
show
gizmo.
You this magical trick with the freezer paper. So I've got the shiny side up.
Yep.
Paper side down. Yep. And then I'm going to, now I did do this one at home on the block with my normal iron.
Yes.
And it was I'm not going to lie, it was a bit dangerous.
Okay.
Because trying to get that big bulky iron on these little bits, I could have very, very easily.
Could have gone wrong.
Yeah. Had a bit of a disaster.
Happily.
So I'm going to use this handy dandy mini iron.
I'm hoping it's turned on. Did we turn it on for you?
It should be on, yeah. It's on low. We'll just whiz it up to high.
Give it a moment.
So I'm going to use that to press this. Now, you do have to hold it down with the iron for a minute to get it to stick to the plastic. You don't want to be putting your iron. This is why it was tricky, because you don't want to be putting your iron directly onto the plastic. You could damage your iron. So you do just need to be careful. Doing it, but it's a really neat trick. What about using a
pressing cloth or anything like that, or do you?
Well, you can't because you're having to manipulate the fabric. You see, so you need. So
using the edge of that mini iron just perfect.
There you go,
for this.
and you can see that.
This
sticking.
is amazing.
It's amazing.
Freezer paper. Who knew?
Who knew?
This
and
is
you can
great.
peel it back and readjust it as you go along.
So so today I'm learning. $49.95 for your mini iron there, your Clover mini iron. There are other adapters. Check out online for all the other different adapters. It's got loads, but it comes with this one that you're seeing, which I think is the handiest. OKGQ17 for that. I'm seeing that that's really handy. The freezer paper is a new revelation for me. That's going to be my new favourite toy. That's coming in down the bottom. $18.95 for what Lucy would describe as a lifetime's worth of freezer paper. And obviously that's no guarantee.
No.
But
the reason
cool.
that when you cut these circles and you just have this smaller seam, because you might be thinking, oh well, I'd just cut a bigger seam and I wouldn't do it. It just means that when you've got your finished Dresden plate, you don't have a lot of bulk. You've only got that small seam on the circle there, so it just keeps the finished quilt block, looking really, really nice. So it is a little bit fiddly, but it's easy. Yeah.
Donna and Susan have messaged in. She says you can iron using freezer paper. So it's safe. Well, that's what we're using. That's what we're ironing on.
Oh, does she mean you can iron on the plastic though? Can you?
Oh, okay. Do you want to see on the packet? Okay.
I'm not going to do it. Just in case.
No. On the packet it says general craft applications may include templates, tracing, non-slip stencils, line drawers, and shelves with it. You can personalise and create designs, and useful as a base layer when painting or using wet materials.
Wow. I'll have to check about the iron. I was assuming that you couldn't iron on the plastic, but perhaps it is coated in some way so you can iron on it.
It does say here avoid touching the shiny side of the paper with the iron.
Oh well.
So yeah, let's go with that. Let's just avoid that. So we recommend not doing that necessarily, but do you know, it's your iron, you do as you please. This is great. Place food and products for storage on the shiny sides and wrap tightly to aid in keeping moisture in and air out.
So when I think about it, you know, like American sandwich shops you see in the
do
movies,
yes.
they like wrap it in the paper, don't they?
Yeah.
That'll be it.
We don't do that here,
Sounded really Mancunian when I said that, sorry.
Yeah, no, we're all
it.
about the Tupperware in this country, aren't we? But that, there you go, that's your freezer paper. That's a new crafty revelation for me. So, your Clover mini iron makes life really easy. Your freezer paper making life, really easy. Look at that. $18.95 for that.
I mean, look at that, those edges.
$94. Perfect.
Sorry, I interrupted.
That's right.
Do you want to say it again? Sorry.
No, it's beautiful.
It is. It's okay. It's beautiful.
Lovely.
It really, really is, and it's just so easy, and it's just it creates some little folds there as it does. It's just eased round, but it's perfect circle.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's have a look again at the Dresden. Go on, you dance.
Okay, I'm going to dance.
Go on then.
So,
have you done with this? Can I turn this off?
Yes, thank you. Sorry. So for the quarter one that we've done here, we have to cut this.
Cut it? You've only just ironed it.
I know.
Okay. All right. Really?
Yes,
sure about
really.
That?
Well,
sure
I don't really want to, but yeah, I'm going to have to. So I'm going to just mark it because I'm nervous. I'm going to mark the halfway points, just using this as a little guide.
Yeah.
You don't need to. If you feel very comfortable cutting a circle in half, you just
I
go
guess you
ahead,
could line
but
it
I
up
would
on your
like
cutting
it
mat,
to be-
couldn't you?
Yes, you can.
If you wanted to
There.
as well.
So I'm just going to do that, and then I've just got a little guide there.
Are we going to rotate?
For cutting? Yeah, we can do. Absolutely.
I do like this.
So I am
rotating
going to
cutting mat.
slice through the. I'm just going to use this because
Do it.
that's what I've got.
Why not?
So I'll just line up the dots there.
As you chop through the middle of that, let me just remind you about these beautiful fabrics.
Deep
Lots
breath.
of you going for that. It's okay, you can do this, you can do this. Yay! So if you would like to get the Dresden plate ruler, which we've just seen here, and obviously the circle as well, £20.95. The fabric, the beautiful fabric that we've used is Alison Glass fabric. It is an absolute steal. We've got a range, so let's have a look. We've got the raisin first of all. Again, just £5.45 per half a metre. UWMY03. It's not great, is it, being a bit dyslexic when I'm to read out the numbers. And then next one is your Tide. I love that one. Has this one been the most popular, producer Paul? Hey, it is the most popular. Gorgeous. $5.45. I think I would be using that as the background and then having the raisin and the citrus to make my sunburst. $5.45. BAMY 94. And then next one up is your citrus. There it is. Gorgeous. Yeah, you can really see the pattern in that, can't you, when you look closely? But otherwise, it just looks like a stunning design. $5.45 there. That is your citrus. That is our happy fabric. MDMY41. Awesome. And so this then.
So I'm just moving everything out of the way to make way
bad
for
boy?
my
Look at this.
ginormous
This is huge.
ruler. It is huge, and it seems a little.
It's
over the
52
top.
centimetres. How many
However,
inches is that? 20 inches.
20 and a half. 20 and a half. Square rulers are fabulous and necessary.
Yes.
Because in quilting, you want everything square.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
not
yeah.
all the
Otherwise,
time,
it's going to look a
but
bit weird. Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah.
You want things square.
Yeah.
So having a large square ruler is great because whatever block size you want to make,
You're covered.
You're covered.
It's huge.
So we were saying, I don't know what that booklet is, that largest one you can make is a 20-inch block, which would be 20 and a half finished, which is exactly
Perfect.
this ruler. So
Wow.
it's really, really good for, I'm just going to cut this to a 16-inch.
This is fab.
Yeah.
Wow, what a piece of kit.
It makes it really, really easy.
Oh, this has got to be on your Christmas list, surely. So, how much is this one? $49.95. It's an investment, but a one-off investment, isn't it? Once you've got it, you've got it.
Yes, exactly. And then if you're, like I was in a lot of quilting bees, so I was making quilt blocks for other people, and, you know, they might request, you know, a large block or a small block or whatever, and you can measure all sizes with this.
Excellent.
So,
I'm going to let you do all the cutting there. If you want to grab this Creative Grid non-slip square, it is a whopper at 20.5 inches square, $49.95. But when you've got it, you've got it, and there's no turning away from that. This would also be great for cutting things like your 2.5-inch strips off your bolt, isn't it? Absolutely great. So grab that, pop that in your basket. BRCQ61. You're back in an hour.
I am.
Yes. Sorry, there was a moment there.
That's all right.
No, that is right, isn't it? What are we doing then?
And then we're doing more blocks, but different kinds of blocks.
Awesome. It's all about the patchwork and quilting. The Panda. Oh! Panda is coming up after the break. We love the Panda.
I adore it.
It's all about your patchwork and quilting today. So if you love that, stay with us. And if you want to learn a thing or two, stay with us. Lots still to come today. More quilting blocks, you say, but different. Blocks. Beautiful. So today, obviously, that's all done.
There we go.
We've got lots still to come today, so stay with us. We'll see you after the break. Thank you. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.
Join us on Thursday the 9th of March for a special day of quilting, brought to you by our friends at Love Patchwork and Quilting Magazine. Love Patchwork and Quilting is the UK's #1 best-selling quilting magazine, packed with gorgeous photography and easy-to-follow guides, so even beginners will be creating cool quilts in no time. Jo Carter and Lucy Brennan will be bringing 4 hours of modern quilting techniques and trend-led projects. So tune in on Thursday the 9th of March for Love Patchwork and Quilting Day, only on Sewing Quarter.
My name is Lucy Brennan and I'm a quilter. I teach quilt classes and make different sewing projects. I started quilting about 5.5 years ago, and I'm mostly self-taught. There are some quilters in my family who I got some tips from, but I mostly just practice and just had a go. I've always done some embroidery, so I've always done some stitching, and I've loved crafting and creating different things, but quilting has definitely become my main passion. My favourite thing to make is definitely quilts. I love that it's something that people use. They can be used for lots of different things, and my kids play with them, and we sleep under them, and they're colourful and bright, and they're all over my house. My best tip for people sewing or quilting is to not worry about being too precise. It's just doing it and enjoy the process of doing it, and have fun picking fabrics, and just enjoy the whole thing. I want to work with Immediate Media because they're well established, they're a big name in the industry, and I love their whole ethos and everything that they're doing. The favourite thing that I've made is this little toy cat, which is one of the first things that I made when I started sewing again. And I made it for my son, and it was just a pattern I think that my mum had got from the newspaper, and I didn't have a lot of fabric, so I used the jeans and I made this little pocket and did some embroidery on it and put his initials on the back, but he still uses it, and so that's why it's one of my favourite things that I've ever made. I think this will help expand the sewing and quilting industry. I think it's really nice that we can reach out to people and show them our different designs and patterns, and then they can follow along and make things at home and buy good quality products. I'm looking forward to working at the Sewing Quarter and getting to share my designs and getting to see what the viewers have made with the patterns and with the fabric and everything.
It's this hour. It's the Panda Hour. It's the hour that has got you all aflutter. It is the Panda Hour. We are looking at this quilt. Do you know what's fabulous? We have got this for you as a kit. Yes, as a kit. So, if it's the pandas that you're after, and there they are looking super gorgeous, let me just say, look at them. Absolutely gorgeous. The whole kit. So when I say the whole kit, I mean the charm pack that you need to make this, the 3 skeins of thread that you need, the fabric marker, the cotton reels, the instructions, the wadding, the bonder web for your applique. You've also got black, white and grey fabric, everything you need. All you need to add is your time, a pair of scissors and a sewing machine. Oh yes, all for $52.95. Now, this isn't just any old fabric. The charm pack that we've used for this is Joel Dewberry. His name's not the easiest to say, is it? Which means it is top quality, gorgeousness, fresh, modern, up to date, absolutely beautiful. And then we popped in a panda. Now, the utter genius behind this is our very fabulous Jo Cotter. Hello, Jo. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Now, you are the lady that brought us sell-out bunnies yesterday. They were sold out twice. And I think today this is going to be an absolute winner.
I hope so.
Love him.
He's my favourite, actually. Of all the projects I've done over the last few years, I love the Panda quilt.
Now, we've got everything in the kit. I think this is an incredible price for this project here. Bearing in mind, top quality fabrics in there. Yep. So much of it in there as well. Even down to the wadding, the skeins. You even get the thread, instructions, everything is in there. Even the bonder web. You do not need to leave your home for anything. Now, we've got a lot of stock for this. Mm-hmm. We haven't. Oh, stocks are not massive. Right.
Right.
Okay. Oh, no. Check out your basket, if you've got it in your basket. Let's go.
Let's go.
So, here are the instructions. Beautifully printed, all in full colour for you. So, you're going to be able to make this at home perfectly. So, there we go. Winky panda, winking panda there. Look at this, absolutely lovely. Easy, easy, easy. Colour instructions. It's going to show you. Oh, look, there you are, down there. Becky says, how easy is this to make? We're going to show you.
I don't think... The only tricky bit, really, is sewing the curves around the clamshells. But even that, you know, you've got a nice curve to follow with the... Be confident. I don't think it's too difficult to make at all.
Awesome. How do we do it then? How is this beautifulness occurring?
I like to start by assembling all the components.
Right.
So if I'm making an animal, I have all the limbs on one side.
Yeah, no, you do. We learned that yesterday. Ears and limbs was where we started with the bunny. Today it's all about the panda. So how do we do this?
I'd start off, first of all, by preparing all my printed clamshell pieces.
Yes.
And charm pack that comes with it is perfect because here's the pattern piece. This is with the seam allowance, this is the pattern piece for the clamshell.
It fits an absolute treat.
So you want to trace around that.
Yes.
And cut it out.
You even get the fabric pen to trace around it with. This is how detailed this kit is. So we haven't assumed that you have anything in your stash. Can I just say, already so many of you on the phones for this. So please check out your basket. This is going to be a regular thing for you, isn't it? You're a popular girl, bringing all these things, and they just go like this. So if you are after it, please do make sure that you check out your basket and grab it, because there's a lot of love for the panda today, like there was for the bunny yesterday. A lot of love.
We've got to love a panda.
Of course, yeah.
They're just so cute.
Now, when we've traced around this, how are we best to cut this out?
I would cut these out just with a pair of scissors. So I would draw them all out. I'd sit there. I like to, stack. Well, you sat down of an evening, just because you're still working. You can't get up and make a cup of tea.
No, that should be made for you and brought to you as you are working. Yes,
that's very much the policy in my house.
Yes.
So anyway, I draw around these and cut them out. I've got some here that are ready cut out.
Lovely.
And then we need to shape them to get them to this. Mm-hmm. So, as well as the paper template that you use to cut the fabric out, you need to cut on card. So you can print out the clamshell template and then glue it onto some card and cut them out. Now my printer isn't working, so actually I cut out the paper template, traced it onto card and cut them out.
Hey, look, if you've got some of that freezer paper, you can do it on that, can't you? There you go. So this is your outside, this is your fabric size, and that's your template size.
Yes,
is that right?
So the one in the middle you want in card because it needs to be sturdier.
Card, fabric. Card, fabric. Okay. So it's a bit like English paper piecing.
It is a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, we're folding them, yes, because we want the seam allowance around the side. But getting it to fold over a curve, not the easiest thing in the world. But there's a technique. I love a technique. So it involves tinfoil and the iron.
Have we forgotten the tinfoil?
No,
we've got some.
I've brought my tinfoil.
Yay! Now this is the technique that Lucy and I were talking about earlier. She brought this technique to air for circles in one of the very first shows that we ever did, because of course the heat when you iron it reflects right back, doesn't it? So it gives you a real good...
It does, and it also means, demonstrate, but you can also get sort of press, because this folds and stays put so well, it holds the fabric in place.
Nice. Show us what you mean. So if you are pandering it up today, welcome. We'd love to have your company. We've got the Panda Pop mini quilt kit. Now, normally I would say, quilt's beautiful. This is a beautiful child's quilt. Here we go. No. This is going on the wall. There's no doubt about that's not. No child is going near that. That is going on the wall. Sorry, Freddie. But no, that's just gorgeous. It's a thing of beauty.
I have that one that's photographed in the pattern. I have that on my sewing room wall.
Yes, absolutely gorgeous. Look, oh, you can be making this at home for $52.95, and there is everything that you need in here: the thread, the pen, everything. Stocks are running low. What again? Stocks are running low already. So grab it if you can. Check out your basket if you want the panda, and so many of you do. This might be the first time that you've ever used Joel Dewberry fabrics, in which case you're in for an absolute treat, because that's coming in there. We've put top quality fabrics in here. We haven't skimped at all. Everything that you need is in there. The wadding, the skeins of thread, the pen, the pen to mark it's in there. It's all in there. So to guarantee your order, please do check out. I hate having to do this to you. Again, like I say, I can only apologise. We are a new channel. We're still gauging what interest there will be in things and how much you're going to love things. And obviously, again, we've got our stocks a little bit skew-if. But next time we bring him to wear, because I think he's going to come back, we will have to bring him back and some. So everything that you've got there, $52.95 for all of that. Your wadding, your bonder web, your charm pack, your skeins, your marker, your thread, your full instructions, and your backing. Everything is in there. You've got the black, you've got the white, and you've got the grey fabric in there. So please check out your baskets. If everybody checks out, then we're close to selling out. So, it has sold out. If you all check out your baskets. Whoops. Right, let's crack on.
Okay. These I mean, these fabrics work beautifully because there's such a variety of prints. You've got the florals, the geometrics, and the colour as well. You've much more vibrant ones that stand out. There's so much to see because the colours work so well together, and there's such a variation. Anyway,
Beautiful.
I'm putting this one on here. So on my tin foil, I want to centre the card template there and then bring this around. Is that possible to see?
Yeah.
So you fold the foil, feel for the edge of the card template. Bring it all the way around like that. This is detailed in the pattern.
Right, yes it is. I can concur. It is in there.
So bring it right round, so you've got that nice curve and the fabric's all where it should be, folded over, and then press. You want to press with the iron. Now you can spray, before you fold the fabric over, spray with starch if you want. That gives, I've done these with starch and they're really
We've got
firm.
on the website, actually, we didn't think to put it on the show, which was silly. So we've got something called Best Press, which is fab.
It is.
And that's a thing that actually, if you've washed, then you can spray the starch back in. So check out the website for that. We're using Joel Dewberry fabrics. This is the charm pack. So if you want to, once you've got this pattern, make another one, then this is the charm pack that we've used in it. This is your Joel Dewberry fabric. So if you want it separately, look at all the colours. This is what we've used in this. So if you're loving the pandas and you're loving the effect of these, then this is the fabric that it's come from. Absolutely gorgeous. And what I love about this is if you're making this quilt for a boy or a girl, the colours are in there for both. It's absolutely stunning. So 42 pieces in your charm pack there. It's just exquisite. I do love his work.
I do.
Beautiful. DSRW 18, 1995. This is the charm pack from which the Panda quilt was made. So if you've missed out on the Panda quilt, you can still buy the fabric separately. Okay, do you want me to press that for you?
Press?
Yeah, hand it over. Which side do I do it from? This side?
Yes, that side. If you have a new iron, maybe with a non-stick plate, you might not want to go straight onto the foil.
Okay.
And maybe use a cloth in the way, but I go straight onto the foil with my iron.
Yeah.
My iron's got part of my carpet melted onto it,
Well,
so
I'm
not precious.
It's fine, absolutely fine. If, of course, you are precious about your iron, we do have on the website as well a Teflon ironing sheet,
that'd be good.
which is pretty cool. There you go.
And then carefully.
It's a big reveal.
I know, I hope this
It's so
work
clever.
now.
Yes, there it is. Perfect.
I would just give it another press on that side, just to really.
Is that me? Do I need to go back and...
Shall I?
Yeah, I'll press that again. So
Just
if
to
you're
make
looking
sure.
at this fabric going, gosh, this is rather lovely, what is it? It's Joel Dewberry. It's from the 8 trim range, and it's really rather gorgeous. So if you've missed out, that's the fabric that we've used in the kit. Now, the kit, very, very low on stock. Check out your baskets if you want to get it, because he's going to sell out. Mr. Panda is going to sell out. But if you want the fabric that the pandas are peeping out of, that is your Joel Dewberry. Is that done okay?
Perfect.
Yay!
And so we have a few there.
So there's a bit of prep, isn't there, to do for
There
this?
is.
But it's worth it. Absolutely worth it.
Yes, I did the whole 42 squares, isn't it? I did them all. Is that right? Have I got my numbers correct?
Yeah, no, it's 42
I think
in there.
I did,
Yeah. Did you use the whole charm pack then in this?
I did. I think you need 40. I'd have to check the pattern. I'm pretty sure you need 40 printed clamshells in all to do that design.
Ooh,
but I did all of them, and I had 2 spare left over at the end.
Okay, there we go.
But it just meant I had a bit of flexibility when I was laying them out.
I like always having a couple spare, just in case I go a bit squiffy and wrong.
It's always handy to have. One of mine always falls down the back of the sewing table, and so.
That's so true. That's so true. In our house, the dog runs off with stuff. Anything fluffy, he runs off with it. So it's always handy to have a spare.
Yeah.
So apologies if you have just joined us and gone, oh, I need the Panda. I'm afraid the Panda kit as a whole kit has sold out. But if you want to get the Joel Dewberry Atrium Range Charm Pack, which is the material within the kit, then you can. It's $19.95. Obviously, we kitted everything for you, but if you're just after that charm pack because it's rather gorgeous, then go for it. You have to tell me if I've ironed enough.
That looks perfect.
It's like a little secret package, isn't it? Every time you open it up, it's like Christmas.
There we go.
Fab.
So another, and yes, just continue doing that until you've got a nice stack of clamshells. I have now realised what I haven't brought with me.
What have you not brought?
I've not brought my white clamshells to make my panda faces.
Oh, right.
I've left them on the...
Are they out there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We can get our floor manager to go and grab those. Amy.
I knew there'd be something.
We need the actual white panda clamshells, please. Floor manager Amy. We'll get that sorted for you.
They're ready
in the
cut
meantime.
There. And then once all your printed ones are done, it's time to do the pandas.
Okay.
So the pandas have ears. There are a lot of ears to cut out. Just to warn you before you start, because
there are ears. The pandas have ears. Be warned.
There are 2 pieces of fabric per ear, and then 2 ears per panda. So you need 4 per.
Oh, really? 4 per
panda. It's not easy to say.
Per panda. What I love about these, whilst we're waiting for Amy to come along. Where is she? She's making a cup of tea. Amy, is she on it? Here we go. We've got the ears here. So they actually stand out of the fabric. There we go. Gorgeous. So we're after... Oh, here's Amy. Amy, we're after these, the white clamshells for the panda, please. Is what we'd like. Do we know where they are? There we go. She's going to go and grab them.
Sorry,
right, so here we go. These are your ears here. But then you've also got the panda eyes.
Yes.
How do we make the panda eyes?
Well, the pattern piece will be in there, so it's a case of tracing it, cutting it out, and then onto the back of iron-on adhesive.
So this is why you've got the Bonder web in the kit?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Because they're glued on. I mean, later at a later stage, I will also stitch around them just to really secure them in place. But yes, you want to draw them out onto the backing paper and then fuse it onto the black fabric.
So that's why the Bonder web is in your kit. Congratulations if you managed to get the kit. I'm really sorry if you didn't manage to be. I think it's going to become a thing that if you see Jo on a show, you need to be in there quick because we didn't release these for sale until bang on 10 o'clock. So, you know, apologies if you've missed out. Next time we'll know to bring more. Like I say, we're still learning on stock levels. We didn't know if you were going to absolutely love this. You were always going to absolutely love it.
Should I make an ear?
Yeah, let's go with an ear. So 2 ears, 2 pieces of ear together.
Thank you. So I left them on the desk.
Nah, that's all right.
I was so concerned with making sure I had ears and eyes, I forgot the actual face.
The actual head.
For them to go on. I've got white thread in the machine just for ease.
Well, it shows up for you. So what are we doing? Backwards and forwards, and then
just around the outside edge, and then there will need to be a little bit of clipping of the seam allowance just to allow them to turn.
Okay. This is if you've been worried about circles before, this is the project, isn't it? This will get you over every single fear you ever had of a circle. And this is what I'm learning with sewing, is that when I'm a little bit dubious or nervous of something, actually just do it lots. Just do it lots and do it, and then it's done. Perfect.
I mean, there's a lot of curve sewing on there in that I stitched around the curve when I attached the clamshells, but then I also quilted over them. So plenty of practice with curve sewing. But it's quite nice. You get into a nice rhythm with it after a while. I'm
going to be honest. When we first saw this, because we've brought panda printed fabric before, that was what we assumed the pandas were. We would just assume that you just cut out and stuck on a one that was already made from a fabric. But it's not. These are handmade pandas.
They are. They're assembled.
Perfect. So if you are looking at the background fabric there, that jewel-like colour that you're getting through with this charm pack, this is the Joel Dewberry Atrium range. Now in your charm pack you get 42 pieces, it's $19.95. This is the overall effect that it gives, absolutely stunning. We've teamed that... This is just the charm pack. This is just the colourful bit that you're getting there, because obviously the pandas have now sold out. So if you want the fabric that goes towards making it, maybe you've just bought the pandas and actually you want to get, you know, extra fabric so you can make two, then here we go. This is a great place to start. Or maybe you just love the colours of them and actually, yes, now you've seen them out the packet and used, then yes, you need to make a quilt like this. Pandas will know.
So I've done one here, clipped V-shaped notches into the seam allowance to allow it to turn. I'll do the same with this one. And then I'll stitch a face.
Beautiful.
Which Amy very kindly found for me.
Haha. So we're all about the quilts today. Today is our Love Patchwork and Quilting Day. We've got Jo Carter here, busily making one of the most gorgeous quilts I think I have ... ever seen. Really love it. And Love Patchworking and Quilting is our sister magazine, and we've got a little special offer because of that, to say that online only, this offer, just to clarify, online only, if you go online and you want to get 3 editions of Patchwork and Quilting, you can for just £3. T's and C's obviously will apply on that, but go and take a look, because if this is the first time you go, oh yeah, no, really liking a bit of this Patchwork and Quilting, didn't know that there was a top quality magazine that goes with it, now you do, and there it is. Perfect.
And all the ideas for my things come from the team at Love Patchwork and Quilting.
Really?
They do. So this, I can't take credit for the idea, but I think it works. This clamshell design is just perfect.
You see, I assumed that this was, because obviously we know you also, as a toy maker, that the panda just popped out of the fact that you make toys.
I think when there's an animal, they sort of think, oh, Jo, maybe that's a Jo sort of thing.
Make Jo do it. Just love it. As a mini quilt, as a wall hanging, anything like that. Now, the colours that are absolutely popping in this quilt are the Joel Dewberry. So if we don't look at the pandery bits, if the other bits here, that's your Joel Dewberry. That's the colourful part of the quilt that you're seeing there. 1995. So if you just want the charm pack, it's 1995. DSRW 18 for just that.
Okay, so the face made slightly differently to these ones in that because it's white, you don't want anything coming through from the back. You want them to be a solid white face.
Yes.
So 2 pieces for the faces, right sides together, and you want to centre your card template. This is the finished size of the clamshell. Right. And then with the pen, draw around the edge like that, because this wipes off, with a bit of water this disappears.
Okay.
And so, following this curve around that line to join them together,
cool.
And then we'll turn them the other way out.
Oh, lovely. Just so that you know, for anyone that is desperate to make the panda, you can buy the constituent parts. You can't. Oh, can you not buy all of them? Oh, okay. All right. Right. So, okay. I thought we had them on there. Okay. All right. Right. Ignore that. If you want to buy, here we go, your charm pack, which is the Joel Dewberry, then there we go, there's your 42 pieces there. 19.95 for that, whilst Jo just sews around there. But do check out the website, because you'll find a plain white. We've got a whole page of just your plain fabric. So if you want a plain white and a plain black, then check out the website. You'll find that on there, hopefully.
So the ears, I mean, they're done in very much the same way as the ears. So I'll just clip V-shaped notches.
Now, what's this V-shaped notch doing? Because we see you do this a lot, and what's the importance of that?
With an external curve like this, all this fabric, the seam allowance has to fit in there, and it's a tighter space.
Right.
So you just want to remove some of the bulk from the seam allowance here, and it will just, if you see on one of these, see there's more fabric, so it folds and fits around.
There you go, so that's it, folding and fitting. This is one of the Joel Dewberry fabrics from the charm pick. So if you've missed out on the Panda pack, you can still get the Joel Dewberry fabric for $19.95. and we apologise for anybody that didn't manage to get the pack that wanted it. We will know for next time. We're learning, we're still new. Just over a month, we are.
It's a month already.
Feels longer, doesn't it?
Yeah, but then at the same time, I can't believe it's been a whole month.
I know.
But yeah.
Craziness all round.
So there, we've got the face. I'm going to turn this the other way out. Now I find popping the card template there.
Oh, top tip.
And folding it over just helps you to push this in.
Oh, so it helps you really give that...
all the seam allowance on one side. And just give that a good push. So yeah, I'm all fingers and thumbs today. I'm always fingers and thumbs whenever I'm on screen, I think. Just pop that in there, and you can press it with the card in just to get the curve.
I do that?
Do you want to do that? Give that a press?
Do that. So this is coming together well now, isn't it?
It's quite... The prep is the part that takes the time. So prepping the clamshells and the panda face, the ears. I'll turn this ear the right way out.
Ear, yep.
Once you start layering up the clamshells on the backing fabric, it comes together really quickly. And I like to see, you know, the progress. Sometimes with a quilt you can make block after block after block and you don't get an idea of the finished look. But with this, it emerges very quickly as you start to lay them up.
So, well, I think we're just saying upstairs that I think from now on we need to know that as soon as you come in, you need to get on the phone lines quick to get anything that you're bringing us, because it's so popular. Everything goes. It's all these animals, just so popular. Now, luckily, we do have the Joel Dewberry fabric for you. So if you're after the beautiful colours that you can see on this quilt, then here they are, separately for you. So here we go, 42 pieces there for £19.95, DSRW18. This is what's been used within the kit. So if you've been unlucky and missed out on the kit, you can still get the beautiful fabric that is the colourful part. There you go, gorgeous, really beautiful. I do like this a lot. It's just gorgeous, and it's one of those collections that the more I see, the more I really fall for it and go, yes, it's absolutely gorgeous. Cutting out a panda eye, I see.
From the fusible adhesive.
Yes.
The adhesive backed eyes, we'll cut these out carefully now. And you want to make sure you turn the template over for each eye, because they need to be mirror images.
Oh, okay.
For each side of the face.
Yeah, I would have not done that and then ended up with pandas the wrong way.
I learnt the hard way that it's important to put that note in a pattern, because whereas I'm used to automatically doing one, turning the piece over, drawing another one out, I forget that other people haven't been making toys for years. Well,
no, that's fair enough. And so he's starting together, actually. He's starting to come together really rather nicely. Beautiful.
I cut out a little nose.
Ah, he has a heart-shaped nose, doesn't he? So if you are just joining us today, hello, it's been Panda-tastic already. The quilt has sold out, but worry not, because we have got the Joel Dewberry fabric for you. So if you're looking at the background of that quilt going, oh my goodness, the colours are exquisite. Yes, they are. And this is why, because they are the Joel Dewberry Atrium Range Charm Pack. 42 of these, £19.95. So this is the charm pack used within the kit. So you don't need to miss out. Okay.
I made a long sausage dog draft excluder with one of those charm packs in one of my early shows. Possibly one of my very first ones.
Oh, really?
And I love that fabric.
It's a favourite. It's definitely a favourite. Absolutely loving this. So we're making the panda quilt. Apologies if you've missed out on it. We want to show you the techniques. You can still get the Joel Dewberry fabric though, so that's okay.
Sorry, whenever I'm in the studio.
Oh, it's the lights.
I always
that makes
need to.
Your nose run. Yeah.
Right, so I've peeled the backing paper from these. So they've got their adhesive back now and they can be pressed on. To find the centre, just fold the face over. Just give it a little finger press. And then you've got the central line. It just helps to line them up.
And then just make sure you've got the shiny side down on your Bonder web.
Yes, otherwise it'll be glued to the bottom of your iron.
Yeah, don't do that.
And it's, not good. So position the eyes where you want them. Roughly speaking, I sort of have them about 1/4 inch apart, and just so the top and the sides there are about, if you can see the seam allowance inside, positioned about there, and then the nose.
Would you like me to press that on?
Would you mind?
Yeah, I can bring him over here. Ooh, there we go. So, if you've just joined us, hello, welcome. We are all about patchwork and quilting today. We've got fabulous guests. We've got fabulous Jo Carter here. We've got Lucy Brennan for the following hour, all about Love Patchwork and Quilting, which is our sister magazine. And we've got that on a special internet-only offer for you, where you can get 3 editions for just £3. T's and C's apply. Check out the website for that. So hopefully that's his eyes. Now, when would you said that you would stitch around at home, you'd stitch around the eyes just to make sure that they all stay on. When would you do that?
Once the clamshells and the pandas are all layered onto the backing fabric. So before you trim down the sides and make the quilt sandwich, I would sew around. And using black thread, you don't have to be too precise. It's just to secure them in place. I go around twice, but don't worry about it being perfect stitching, because you can't see it. I mean,
okay, no, that's fine.
It really doesn't show up.
All these things, aren't they? You know, by the time that you've done several of these, then your stitching is going to come on an absolute treat. If you are relatively new to sewing, then this is a great project to just bring you on to the next level. We're going to take a very quick break, and we will join you in just one moment. Grab a quick cuppa and join us for the next part of this. See you in just a moment.
Did you know there are multiple ways you can contact us, even if it's just to ask a question? Our friendly team are always on standby. You can call our customer service team at 0800 112 4433, email us at help@sewingquarter.com, visit our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter @sewingquarter, and even message us through our website, and our presenters will answer your questions live on air.
Here at the Sewing Quarter, we want to help you with your levels of sewing. Whether you're a novice or you've been sewing for years and years, we want this to be a fabulous learning curve for all of you. Whether it's making a little gift or making yourself a fabulous outfit, we will be working with some of the UK's biggest designers. You have to join us for that.
Don't forget, our sister brands are some of the leading brands in the industry, with Love Patchwork and Quilting being rated top modern quilt title on the market. Today's quilter has achieved market leadership in the traditional quilt sector. And finally, Simply Sewing was launched in February 2015 after noticing a gap in the market for beginners. Combined, we reach over 150,000 readers every month.
Welcome back. Now, we are all about the Panda quilt. If you joined us earlier, then you'll know that the Panda quilt did sell out. I can't apologise enough. We keep bringing to air. I'm going to blame you here. It's Jo. Every time we bring Jo on, whatever she brings just sells out. So this is the quilt that we're making. We've sold out of the kits. We had this kitted for you and it has sold out. But the good news is that you see this beautiful fabric that we have here? All this gorgeous fabric we do have available as a charm pack, which is £19.95. That is your Joel Dewberry charm pack. So if you want to still quilt with that beautiful fabric, there it is, £19.95 for the 42-piece charm pack that was part of the kit, and you can buy it individually. So DSRW 18 for the Joel Dewberry Atrium Range charm pack, 42 pieces.
It is really nice as well.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, I can never quite decide which is my favourite.
I do change. So there it is. Now, for those of you that have bought the Panda kit, using this, where do we go?
Once all the clamshells and the pandas are ready, so you want a stack of panda ears on one side and 7 panda faces. It's time to get the backing fabric out.
Right.
You can leave the selvage on one side because we trimmed down quite a bit. So I think, I'll check with the ruler, I think it's 27 by 22. But I best check before I put my central line in the wrong place.
I tell you what, though, the whopping great big ruler that we had on the earlier show would have been good for this, wouldn't it?
It would.
Yeah, yeah. The big one. I don't know where that's gone. That was like a 20.5-inch square.
Wow, that would.
So yeah, that would do it.
Well, you really need a ruler for this next part. So actually, that size square one would be perfect because you need to make sure. Key to getting the placement of the clamshells is that they line up vertically and horizontally, so the tops of them are all along horizontal, and the points at the bottom all line up along the vertical.
Right. We'll try and get you that big ruler actually because that might help. So we'll just get that back for you. But in the meantime, where do we need to mark?
We need to mark 5 inches down, a line across, a horizontal line 5 inches down from the top. There we go, I'm lining up the wrong line there. And then just draw a line straight across. It comes out later, so that's fine.
Now, talking of big rulers, check this one out. Thank you, Amy. Look at the size of this one. Woohoo!
That would work really well for this.
We'll get rid of that one then and you can use this because I can see your little eyes light up with this. This is from Creative Grids. It's got that these little grippy circly bits on here. Yeah, it's so that it doesn't shift when you've got it on there. So it is 20.5-inch. So that will give you a 20-inch finished square if you're quilting in the world's biggest quilting blocks.
I haven't seen one of these.
It's good, isn't it?
It is.
It's new in for us. It's a bit awesome. There you go.
I want to measure 11 inches from one side.
Right.
That's 1.5. So do I need to line that up?
Yes, yeah. So we've got this whopping great big ruler for you. So if you are, I mean, this is sort of the mother of all acrylics that I've seen. $49.95 for this from Creative Grids, but having that non-slip on there, I've not seen that before on any other. It's good, isn't it?
Really good safety, great safety-wise so it won't slip.
Yeah.
Because yes, when you've measured something perfectly and then your ruler slips and at the last minute.
It's even got it. Do you know what I've just noticed? It's even got it down. It's got that coating down the side as well. So no matter how small a piece you're doing, it's going to. It's called a gripper stop. So these are all gripper stops, all of these. But down the edge here on that 1/2 inch, so you can be measuring something on a 1/2 inch, and it's really going to stick to it and keep it in place. It's good.
It is. See, I should have used that side, shouldn't I?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. So you've got your 1/2 inch on there, and then you've got your true measurement there.
This is great because it adds your seam allowance, doesn't it? This side.
Yeah. Well, we're discovering more and more about this ruler, aren't we?
I like that.
Yeah, pop it down there if you've
put it over there.
Awesome.
So 5 inches from the top.
Yes.
And then the central line.
Okay.
And then we start with the first panda. You work from the top down.
Okay.
And it's a panda in first.
Excellent. Bring in the panda.
So we want to line it up here. So the side meets this line and the top meets that line. When you're doing a panda, position it first and then we'll tuck the ears underneath. But I need to make sure that's straight. This one already has a pressed line, a finger pressed line. So
oh yeah, for the half.
But I'll just make sure.
This is where you get technical, isn't it? This is. Oh yeah, you can see it's running straight down the middle there.
So that's on straight. I hope I've just not nudged that with my sleeve.
And then quick, pin down your panda. If you're after this amazing grid thing, $49.99. There's me, technical as ever. The big grid thing, the great big non-slip square. This is a 20.5 inch square. This is. I've not seen one this big. It's great. I've got to give you centimetres. What's that in centimetres? 52 by 52 centimetres. It's not in centimetres. It's all in inches. But obviously, because of all the crazy laws that we've got to give it to you in centimetres. There you go. There we go. That's it. All from Creative Grids. Nice.
Then we want to position the ears. There's a 3.5, there's a 1/4 inch, these are all details in the pattern, there's a 1/4 inch seam allowance around the sides, but 3/8 of an inch.
I'm giggling because where you've pinned through his nose, he looks like a punk panda.
Punk panda. Yes, it does look slightly brutal, doesn't it?
He looks like he should belong to a 60s punk band. No, 70s punk band. Well, I'm thinking of... doesn't matter. Let's move on.
A pistol panda.
Yeah, that's it, a pistol panda.
So I might just pin through the ear.
No, pandas were harmed in the making of this quilt. Pauline's asked, hello Pauline, what's she asking? Oh, she says, is the wadding okay for a baby quilt with the panda quilt? She's bought it, she now wants to make sure that it's okay.
I've not checked, but I would think, I think all wadding has to meet standards. What I would do is I would wash it before you give it to a baby. Well, I do that with any quilt anyway. Give it a little wash beforehand, just to make sure any starch or anything else like that's washed away, and it's all it gets rid of your pent marks as well. Okay.
Is it our polyester wadding that we've got in there? That's the one, isn't it? That's in there, isn't it? Yeah. No, yeah, that one's okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, we had a guest on the other day. It was Angela Atwood, said that she always uses that polyester wadding for children because it's light, so it really works.
Yes.
So yeah.
And then I wasn't trying to mimic that one exactly, but I picked up this one. Fold them in half just to find the top centre. It just makes, and the bottom centre actually, it makes life easier. So just give them a finger press, and we want them to meet. They should. These will be, because of it takes a little bit more fabric to have the turn, so these are slightly larger, but don't worry about that. That's not a problem, because there's a good overlap allowed.
Okay, perfect. So this is, if you're looking at this fabric going, this is really rather gorgeous, I need it in my life, you can, we haven't sold out of this. The fabric, the charm pack that the colourful bit of this beautiful quilt came from is Joel Dewberry. I still find that difficult to say. Joel Dewberry Atrium range, a 42 pack piece, 1995. All right, producer Paul's sort of saying it over and over and over. Oh, right, he can say it perfectly. I just get fab.
It's not the easiest name. There's a few designers and fabric manufacturers. I seem to say them differently every time.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I renamed Tula Pink earlier, Tula Rose. I thought it sounded nice. Yeah, we've changed her name. It's fine. Just one of the top American designers. So what are we measuring up next?
Just checking that they're straight, that the finger press line measures up, lines up with the central line, and they're on straight. If you start making sure that they're straight, it makes it easier as you go along. If there's one that's not on quite correctly, you'll have problems. Is your eye
going to be drawn to it? Is it going to be one of those annoying things that you just see the squiffy one?
Possibly, and they might all sort of gently lean to one side, yes. And you want them to meet about there, just above, think of the seam allowance, and they meet about there. Okay. So I'll sew around those two curves.
You do two at a time?
I do a row at a time.
Okay.
So awesome. Later on, there'll be...
How gorgeous. Now, whilst you sew, and is this... Oh, hang on. Let's just talk about the detail of how we're sewing here. How close to the edge do you sew?
As close as you can.
Right. So is this a matter of lining it, just consistently lining up with the same place on your foot or on your machine to sort of get that consistency of where you place that stitching?
Yes. If you've got marks on your foot, that's great to use those. Because there's quite a contrast between the fabric and the backing fabric, I watch the edge of the fabric and just keep as close in.
Because it's those little tips, isn't it, that just make life a little bit easier. And take your time going around these curves, there's no rush. at all. So if you want this gorgeous Joel Dewberry fabric, 1995 for the charm pack. So 42 pieces of, quite frankly, gorgeousness in your life. Now, if you'd like to get in touch with us, then sewingquarter.com, head to the website, watch the show live, and underneath there is a little box which says message us, message the studio, and you can message us there. So there you go, there's Jo sewing around, there we go, there's message the studio. So if you've got a lot to say, then email us instead, because there is a word limit on the web chat there. So if you've got a lot to say or you want to send in your photos, then please do. That will be to studio@sewingquarter.com. They all come through to the same places. We love to hear from you. And then underneath all the fabrics, all of the gadgets and gizmos that we've played with. There's that whopping great big grid on there as well. Now that was the Joel Dewberry design strips that we had earlier, design roll there. So it's all about the top designers today. We're really lucky to have them here on the shows. So there we go. That's where to find everything. Oh, that was your Tula Pink. You see, now I'm really confused as to whether or not it is Tula Rose or Tula Pink. Tula Pink. That's right, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Tula Pink, yep. I would advise, when you're sewing round curves, don't do it on one leg and stand up, because that makes... This one has slipped a bit, and I would actually take that out and just level it up a bit more.
Would you?
Let's see, how bad. If it isn't level, I would, yes. Oh, actually, it's not too bad.
What are you lining up?
It drifts by about... This corner, it drifts by about 1/8 of an inch. So I would actually probably redo that one. Just to make sure, especially on this row, just to make sure it started off
exactly
properly. But it's not particularly easy sewing stood up.
Well, yeah, no, we do make it difficult for you, don't we? We give you a nice high table and make you stand up to do it. So if you're sewing at home, take your time, do it absolutely precisely however you want to do this. Now, ooh.
I'm sure I'll go for a bit more of a contrast. Now, the next row has 3 on it. So, again, fold and finger press so that you've got the central line, and then you can line that up with the join there. Now with the ruler, because they are 4-inch clamshells, if you can line them up. I want it this way. Line up your 2 inches along there, and you can line up your clamshells so that they fit. On a finger press.
So okay, so you're lining.
So I've lined that the 2-inch line with the line I drew before, but with the top
with the
of
top.
those.
Oh, okay. So you're lining that top bit up there. So there's your 2-inch line along there with the top of your panda on that one, and then I see what you're lining up now. Oh, I get it. And then line that one up there.
And then you pin these in place and then sew over these curves.
Gorgeous.
So actually, I could probably bring that one back without removing it.
Really?
Bring it back into line with the ruler. But yes, making sure everything is level and straight is the key to a good finish at the end.
It's giving that professional finish, isn't it?
It is.
Now, if you are unsure about availability of stock, just give us a call. We have a free phone number, 0800 112 4433. Please use it. Please do use it, because it is our free phone number. We don't charge you for any of the calls. We do have a UK team that are all fully trained, waiting to take your calls. So don't let them sit there twiddling their thumbs. You know, call them if you're in any way worried about anything that you're buying, or you've got any questions about any of it, or you're not quite sure if it's in stock, or you've seen something and you're not quite sure what it was called, but it's been on the show today. Just ring them. They know. And it's all free as well. You're not being charged for that call. Very important for us. Things like that were really important for us when we were setting up the Sewing Quarter. And also our postage and packing, I haven't mentioned that today, is very important to us as well. It's $2.95 per day. Not per time you check out your basket, not per item that you put in your basket, or things like that you might find elsewhere. This is $2.95 per day. You can check out your basket 10 times a day. You will only be charged 1 P&P of $2.95. You could buy all the sewing machines that we have in stock. You will only be charged $2.95 per P&P, which is good.
Really good.
I like. That's less than I pay for parking in some places. In a lot of places, actually, now.
Yeah, parking is... It makes online shopping...
A joy, doesn't it?
It does.
But you see, I get annoyed when I shop online and then actually the postage ends up being nearly as much as the item.
Yes, especially you think you've got to bargain.
Yeah. Not so much. Now, if you've just joined us, this gorgeous fabric here is out of your Joel Dewberry Charm Pack, which is $19.95. The information is going to come up on your screen in just one moment. There, it's oh no, it'll be there in a second. But it's a fabulous charm pack. Here we go. It's coming up now. There we go. So a lot of you going for this individually. I think now that you see it in a big quilt, then it really does become apparent just how gorgeous this is. So there you go. That's the smorgasbord of beautifulness. That is the Joel Dewberry Atrium range, $19.95 for that 42 pieces, which I think is great. Pre-cut, not having to worry about my wonky cutting. It's all done for me. Oh, look. Beautiful. 2 of each of the 15 designs. No, hang on. If I got that right. 21 different designs in here, I think. 2 of each, I do believe. Yeah. Look at these. Look, there's some little ones hiding. Woohoo! There's another one hiding down there. Nice. Gorgeous. Oh, hello. What are you doing hiding down there? Come out and say hello. So, Jo, when are you back with us?
Next week.
Are you? What are you bringing? We're going to have to look at our stock levels for every time you come back. What are you bringing us next time?
A couple of toys.
Nice.
And a couple of bags, pouches, sort of projects. That was on my sewing table next.
Hey, gorgeous. Now, here we go. Here are the fabrics for you. 42 pieces here. DSRW 18. This was the charm pack that was in the kit for the Panda. So if you want that separately, it's $19.95. Where are we at with this quilt then?
At the 3rd row. So they're all line up. The tops are at the right point. They're all on straight. And then I'd sew around these.
Beautiful.
This time.
Loving this. This has been a real help, hasn't it?
It has. This has been great because it will cover the whole. You can judge it from the top. With the 24-inch, it's that bit narrower, whereas this, once you're getting further down, you can see how those line up to the top ones as well. You get a really good overview.
And it also holds it all in place,
it does,
doesn't it?
It really sandwiches it.
Nice. I'm liking this. So this one today is our 20.5-inch grid from Creative Grids, and it's got little stopper points on it, which is fab. So do we then have to sew that all on?
Sew this one on, and then it will be the next row after that.
How do you do the eyes and the nose?
The eyes and nose, I use, pop a pin in, just so you get the position of the eyes, and then just embroider with, choose which sort of, it's always good to sketch out on a piece of paper which or facial expressions you want to go for. So with that, I had a doodle pad and I thought, I might have one sticking its tongue out. I want a couple of sleepy ones. And then they all pretty much have the same mouth, just a little inverted M sort of shape.
And is that just with a running stitch?
Yes. So I draw it on with the wipeable pen, and then I backstitch following the lines that I'd drawn on.
Oh, it's a backstitch, okay.
Yes, so that's where, that way you know the mouth's going to be in the right place.
How did you do this eye down here?
I always start with the eyes. You can't really see, but they do have, in black, I do embroider a pupil and then go round it in white. So I embroidered the pupil slightly higher up for that one, and then just did some white stitches underneath until I was happy, really, that it looked like it was, because I wanted it looking up at the one above.
Oh, just fabulous. So popular. And of course, if you're looking at this gorgeous fabric behind, this is all your Joel Dewberry. All of it. It really makes a pop, doesn't it?
It does. Really zingy, sort of fresh colours, and I love it with against the sort of the monochrome, the black and white pandas. Yeah. They really stand out.
There it is. So just a beautiful, beautiful fabric to go with those pandas. So the Joel Dewberry Atrium Range Charm Pack, 42 pieces there, $19.95. Gorgeous. Just beautiful. Right.
The ears, for the pandas, the ears are fixed in when you sew around the top of the clamshell.
Yes.
But when I quilt, I quilted over the clamshells, and over the ears. I mean, they're still free, but it just was that extra bit of stitching to hold them in place.
Quilting, because what I'm noticing in the background is that it's all quilted with this lovely clamshell design. Did you draw that on using your template?
I did. I used this and a ruler again to make sure it was straight, and I just drew around it with the pen. Yeah. And then once I would start doing these and then just carry on following the pen lines to the end.
Ah, so have those been double stitched almost around? Yes, you've gone around twice.
Yes, so they're secured all around.
Fabulous. So the Joel Dewberry, I can't say it, Joel Dewberry fabric. I will get my teeth around that one. The Charm Pack there, 1995, 42 pieces, and that's that glorious array of colours that you're seeing within that quilt. You can get that constituent part for $19.95. DSRW 18. If you're after this fab piece of kit, $49.95. One side on here, you've got the white measurements here are your inches, but you see on the other side, and you see this is your non-slip grip bit, all of these sort of opaque bits. But if I spin it around here, if you want to use the other side, then that gives you your 1.5 inches. So that's got it with your seam allowance built in. Clever, very clever. Jo, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yesterday and today, beautiful shows, sellout shows. Thank you at home, of course, for watching. Lucy Brennan is going to be back in just one moment with more of your quilting techniques. But we'll see you next week.
Yes.
With toys and bags and all sorts of goodies.
Also, maybe a whale, maybe an owl. We'll see.
Who knows
how it goes.
We'll see you then. Okay. And we'll see you in a moment.
Join us on Thursday the 9th of March for a special day of quilting, brought to you by our friends at Love Patchwork and Quilting Magazine. Love Patchwork and Quilting is the UK's #1 best-selling quilting magazine, packed with gorgeous photography and easy-to-follow guides, so even beginners will be creating cool quilts in no time. Jo Carter and Lucy Brennan will be bringing 4 hours of modern quilting techniques and trend-led projects. So tune in on Thursday the 9th of March for Love Patchwork and Quilting Day, only on Sewing Quarter.
The Sewing Quarter is a new, inspirational sewing and quilting channel here to help educate our viewers with some of the best designers in the business. We hope to bring you some exciting demonstrations with some of the top industry experts. We're part of the Immediate Media family. Immediate Media is a fast-growing multi-platform company who operate some of the most loved brands across the UK. Our brands range from our first TV shopping channel adventure with Jewellery Maker to several successful magazines such as Simply Sewing, Radio Times, BBC Good Food and many more. We've been working incredibly hard to set up and bring you our new exciting channel, and we hope that we can help inspire you with new ideas and projects. Sewing Quarter is at the very heart of sewing as we bring you all things sewing and quilting. The team behind us live and breathe sewing day to day. We strive to bring you exclusive offers, exciting live demonstrations, and most importantly, we will custom cut fabric to your specification in our very own cutting room. We will also be bringing you TV exclusives that you won't be able to find anywhere else. So come and join us today at the Sewing Quarter.
Welcome to the Sewing Quarter!
Join us on Tuesday the 14th of March at 8 AM and 10 AM when Angela Atwood will be showing how to use Creative Grid's range of quilting rulers. Creative Grids are the world's leaders in non-slip quilt rulers, and Angela will be taking you through how to use these uniquely shaped rulers to enhance your creativity and help you make fabulous quilts. So join Angela on Tuesday the 14th of March at 8 AM and 10 AM only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78. many different ways you can buy from us here at the Sewing Quarter. You can order from us by calling our free phone number at 0800 112 4433 and talk to the team at our UK-based call centre. Alternatively, there are other ways you can buy from us. You can go online and shop through our website at www.sewingquarter.com. You can even watch the show there and shop as you go. You can check out as many times as you like throughout the day and only pay a small fee of £2.95 postage and packaging for the whole day. We also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all products excluding custom cut fabric. Our friendly UK-based team will help guide you through every step.
When you spend £10 on your first purchase, you will receive this free sewing kit from the Sewing Quarter worth £14.99.
Welcome back! Here we are at the Sewing Quarter and it is Love Patchwork and Quilting Day, which means that we've got some of the best guests from the wonderful world of patchwork and quilting. We've got back this hour Lucy Brennan. She's bringing us some techniques for us today. It's all about learning and we're boosting our skill set today and getting the tools that we need in order to make such beautiful fabrics and such beautiful designs. So this is the time to stock up on your planes. So if you're thinking, okay, I want to get into quilting, actually I'm not quite sure what designs to go for, maybe you don't want that outlay, then why not go for your planes and start plain and then build up. And we've got some beautiful planes. These are your core colours, perfect to have in your stash. Actually perfect for backing your quilts as well. Absolutely perfect. And the great thing is about these is that we sell them by the half metre. So you decide how much you want. You could get 3 metres. You just put 6 in the quantity and then off you go. That would give you 3 metres because it's by the half metre. And each of these are £3.25? Yeah, £3.25. It's awesome, isn't it? Per half a metre. Great value. So this one here is your cornflower blue. Very pretty blue. Lovely to have in that stash. So grab that. This one here is called Ocean across here. They work, actually all these colours work really beautifully today, don't they? Nice. So this is your Ocean one. Again, it's going to be £3.25 per half a metre. XQMY51. This is a great blue shade to have in your house. Very popular shade. And so maybe you're doing things for sort of more masculine quilts, things like that. Then pop in some of those blues. It's going to absolutely work. Talking of a shade that goes with pretty much everything, this grey is one that absolutely goes with just so many. This is your slate grey, very popular. You've seen this on a couple of shows. This was really popular on our Sunday show when we had the Colour Me In fabric. I backed my cushions with the slate. £3.25 per half a metre, QLMY48. What we have for you on our website is a page of sort of, I think it's got over 60 different core fabrics, colour, just core plain fabrics by the half metre, but we like to get them out so that you can actually see the colour and the quality of these. So this one over here is your ivory. So it's really soft. It's not, we had in the Panda quilt we had that optical white, that bright white, which we also had it in on Sunday. This is much softer. It's a warmer colour. See, not all whites are created equal. You only have to go down the paint aisle at B&Q to see that. Obviously, other paint stores are available. But this is a beautiful, soft ivory there. Now, your pistachio. This is your pistachio here. We had this yesterday on the show when Jennifer Taylor made that gorgeous bag. That was what it was lined with that pistachio. So this is your Spectrum Solid fabric by Macawa in pistachio. All of these are Macawa solids, and all of them are $3.25 that we've got on the show. And then next to it, we've got this lovely pink here. Loving the pink here. I'm a pink girl. I do love a bit of pink. There it is. That's your pastel pink. It's classic, isn't it? It's your classic pastel pink. $3.25 for that. BMMY45 is your code to grab that now.
Hello again.
Talking of grabbing things. Oh. Now, we had this conversation this morning. Lucy Brennan made one of these blocks. And then our very clever graphic-y person, Bex, that's not obviously her technical term, that's not what she's got on her, you know, like on a job description or a business card. But technical Bex mocked it up to show you what a repeat of it would look like. That's a bit good. I like that.
I really like it, yeah.
And the joy of that is that those colours, because they're just solids, there's no patterns in there, it doesn't go out of fashion.
No, absolutely. And you can use any combination of colours that you want. But it's
a bit
really nice to
striking.
see that in repeat.
Hello. Welcome back. Love that.
Yes. Ooh. I know. That's these.
How did you
rulers.
how do you even start with something like that? Because I look at it and think, oh, a flashback to maths. But it's not, is it? It's made easy.
It's not. It's made really, really easy.
What's this then?
This is the scrap. Is it Scrap Crazy? Yeah, Scrap Crazy, which makes that block. It's actually that was 4 together.
Right.
So the finished block is 6.
So these are the 4 blocks that you get, and all of those done together gives you a 6-inch finished block. I'm not going to lie, looks like crazy paving.
Yes, I have to say,
look at that.
When I first saw this, I thought, oh, well, okay, it's nice. I can see you can do things with that. And then I started to notice this central part.
Yeah.
Which is why I picked out that green, because I thought that popped really nicely. But I did sort of think, okay, 4 templates just to make this, but it does so much more.
Oh, of course it does, because it's from Creative Grids. And as we're learning about Creative Grids, we're seeing, actually, they really know their grids.
They do. And so
Gosh, they know their grids.
They know their grids. So you've got the 4 templates in there, and you can use them in combination with each other. You can get all kinds of different variations, make lots of different blocks, so it's not just the one that's on the outside of the packaging.
And again, talking about the packaging, don't throw the black bit away. That's got your Yep. Let's have a little look at that. My glamorous assistant here will just pass it over. But look, there we go. In here, this is going to show you how to put them together. Hang on, it's not just that crazy paving then. There's other things that you can do.
There's lots of them, and there's so many combinations that you can do with just these shapes. But the instruction leaflet goes into really good detail. It even shows you how you can place the templates on the fabric to make the most of it, so you're not getting waste.
Oh, I like that.
You know, if you're wanting to cut all the shapes from different colours or different prints, because I've used solids, I think that looks really striking. But of course, you can use prints if you wanted to. So that really shows you how to make the most of your fabric and to cut all those shapes from the one strip of fabric.
And this is coming in your kit. Perfect.
And even up there in the corner, you can see that's the mirror image of the block.
Oh, up there.
So I didn't do that. I just did that one block and rotated it.
Nice.
But you can get a whole different combination by creating the mirror.
What I'm realising is
mirror
this
image
would
as
do
well.
you for many quilts, and it
Many.
would look so different. Firstly, by changing the fabric. Secondly, by doing mirror images, how you lay these quilts out. It all changes it, doesn't it?
And
completely.
I've made a hexagon just from the triangle.
Just because you can.
Just because I can.
That blows my mind a little. I've done a hexagon from the triangle. Of course you have.
Yes.
My little boy's just learning his shapes.
Oh,
and he sat in the car yesterday going, Mummy, I've made a triangle. I've got a triangle.
So sweet.
Really sweet.
It is. It's lovely when they start doing things like that. The other one that I created was this one.
Love this. Now, we decided that you could make a golfer's dream quilt.
You could, yes.
Because it's kind of Argyle, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know, the golfers have it down like that, don't they?
Yep.
Down their tops.
Rows of that would just be gorgeous.
Wouldn't it?
And this
Or a
is...
table runner.
Yeah, in the instructions, this is just one block. So it shows you how to make just that one block there.
Oh, okay.
It's like half that triangle. So that's the block that's in the instructions. So I made that and then made another one.
And another.
And I could have joined them side by side, which I might do if I get time. I'm going to see how many variations
just go
I can
crazy.
make. Yeah, so you don't have to put these together like this. You could put them side by side and you'll have a completely different pattern.
Makes me happy.
There's so many things you can do. It makes me really happy too. I love having tools that you can get more than, one thing from, and you can get really creative. And yes,
multi-tool. That's what we've got for you for $22.95. We're looking at a multi-tool. Not only is it multi in that you get 4 different tools in there, but then the ways in which you can use them are multiple. So it's like a multi-tool. Multi-squared tool.
And this, it gives the instructions again in the leaflet to cut strips. So you cut your fabric into strips and that's how you cut the shapes. But if you have little pieces of fabric,
yes,
you could trim them down to this shape. If you have leftover pieces, trim them down to these shapes and then you're making another quilt as you go along with whatever projects you're doing.
Scrap busting. And because they're clear, of course, if you want to fussy cut and put the main bit of your design in there. Now, what has struck me with these, and I have to say, I've in my career, I've seen an acrylic or two. Mm-hmm. Don't mean to boast, but I have, as probably have you. But what really strikes me with these, and what I've never seen on another one. Now, obviously, I've not seen them all, but I've seen a fair few. I've never seen this bit. Now, this opaque bit on here not only highlights your 1/4 inch seam allowance, but it's rough to the touch,
yes.
Which means that actually, because this is my nightmare, I'm rubbish with a rotary cutter, hands up to that, and if I wish to maintain all 10 fingers, then actually this is perfect because that is actually a grip.
Yes.
If I just turn that over, can you see that's a different texture on there, as is that there, as is that there, not that one there. These all the way round are gripping. So no matter how small the piece of fabric, it's gripping that fabric and it's not going to move. There's nothing worse than having your template slip as you cut.
No, absolutely.
Not only does it waste your fabric, but it's dangerous, and then you've got to cut again, and it's annoying on top of everything else. These are amazing.
You have to press down.
Yes. Well, that's
you can't just put it down but you press it down. But that grip, and it really is so good.
Yes.
They're brilliant at it.
They know
They're
their
really,
stuff.
really clever.
This is a family company, Creative Grids, a mum and dad combo, and then the daughter took over the company. Husband and wife, I should probably say. They started off as husband and wife, then obviously daughter, and she's now carried on. In fact, she came on there very early on, and I think that John has actually named her Rachel the Ruler.
I think it's a very good name because she makes very good rulers. The great thing about these though is, and I'll probably keep saying template rather than ruler just because it doesn't have measurements on it, although it does have some sort of guide.
Yes.
But the lovely thing about this particular set is you're not actually measuring.
Right.
So once you've cut the strip, you're either going to cut from random pieces or you're going to cut the strip. So the only thing you have to measure is the width of each piece to cut your strip.
Okay.
But then you're not having to look at this like you do if you're wanting to cut a 4-inch square. You've got to look at the markings on the ruler to cut out a 4-inch square. For anybody that finds that a bit difficult, these are perfect because you're not actually having to measure the things as you're cutting.
Nice.
For anyone that finds that tricky, these are absolutely perfect.
So that's a mock-up. We had Lucy made us one finished block, and then we with the beauty of technology went, this is what it's going to look like.
Technically, I made 4 because that's 4 blocks.
Okay, so
that's
to make
4
one
blocks to
big
make
old block.
one bigger block. Yeah, but so I made 4 just so I don't seem like I only made 1.
No. Lazy. What were you doing?
But that's not lazy. That's actually 4 blocks put together to make one bigger block. No, but I'll just point it out because I don't want people thinking, that just makes that one block, and then I've repeated
You've done that 4 times.
It 4 times.
And then what we showed you on the screen would have been 16 blocks. Yes. We can do maths.
Okay.
What are we doing?
So I'm going to show you how to cut. So I'm going to start with this shape, which is C from that block. I've cut my strip. I think it was a slightly odd measurement, maybe 5 3/8 of an inch, but don't hold me to it. You would need, just make sure you measure it
Yeah,
and then cut it off. And my natural inclination would be to line up this long straight edge. I've made sure that this is straight, so I've cut that. My fabric's folded over, so I'm going to do 2 at a time. My natural inclination would be to line that up and start cutting.
Right.
But make it easy on yourself, my little tip. Turn it that way, and then when you cut here, you've got a perfect straight edge for when you come to cut the next one. And then if I show you, the other very clever thing about these templates is they're cut at an angle where your dog ears would be, where the points would be. So when you're cutting here, you're cutting that bit, you then cut that bit off. And that really helps when you come to sew the pieces together. So you'll see that as I'm sewing.
So that grid is giving you extra pointers as to how to use it accurately and effectively.
Yes, so rather than
really well
doing it that way,
thought
I would
out.
do it that way. I don't know if that's in the instructions, but that's my method.
Well,
so then
you know,
I'm just going to do
tip
that. I'm going to
upon
have to just angle slightly to cut
Hey, you know
that
what you need?
little bit off. I know, I
Where's
don't
that
have it.
rotating mat?
I need the rotating
Where's
mat.
the rotating mat gone?
I did use the rotating mat, I have to say, to
We
cut
need
out
the
all these
rotating
pieces.
mat.
I'm going to spin it like
we'll
that
get
just
it.
for now.
We'll get it.
But it will be... yeah,
This is where it
very
comes into its
useful.
own, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And when not
is.
being used for that, just pop your snacks on it and then just rotate them around like a lazy Susan.
Yes, you can. So then I've done 2 at once there.
Perfect.
That's it.
Hey, look, we've got the rotating mat for you.
Marvellous.
Let me just reach
All right,
out and
you
grab
have to
that.
get it.
Thank you very much. So your rotating mat is one of my newfound favourite things, not going to lie. It makes me very happy. Let me just show you the base of that, non-slip. So that's going to grip to any surface. Let's pop it on there for you and let's watch it spin. Love this.
So I'll do one more. So I'm lining that up. So that's the edge I've just cut off.
Yes.
So I don't want to do it that way.
No.
See, that's my naturally, I would do it that way.
Yeah, but you've just
I
told us not to.
realised, as I was cutting out lots of these shapes, that I didn't want to do that.
Now, this is a self-healing rotating mat. What that means is that with every cut... Oh, look at that. Just spin it up and it does exactly that. It heals itself so that you're not then cutting into ruts.
No.
None of that.
That's it. Makes it so easy.
None of that.
Because there are quite a few angles, and like if I show you this one, you know, you can see you're cutting off little pieces.
Yeah.
So
to make life easy.
With all those angles, it's nice to have the...
And actually, talking of angles, if we just show you the mat itself...
I've made a mess of it, sorry.
Fluff on it. How dare you. You've got your 30, 45, 60 degree, 90 degrees. You've got all of those and they rotate all the way round as well. So you've got that. So if you're working with your circles, if you're cutting on a bias, you've got all of those marks on there, which is just perfect. If you're doing your 45 degree triangles, your 60 degrees triangle, you've got it all in there. It's awesome and I love it.
I love it too so much that I had to buy one.
Oh, have you?
Put that over there. Yes.
This is so funny.
It's excellent.
So by the time you finish buying a sewing machine and...
I know.
You're our best customer.
I'm after those scissors. I want the embroidery scissors as well.
And I think there couldn't be a better endorsement, actually, than having our own guests go, I didn't know that was out there. That's a brilliant thing.
I know,
had to go and
those are
get
the
it.
things that we want.
Well, it is, isn't it?
I'm going to lay out a block because I want
good.
to get sewing.
Oh, yeah, no, let's. That's why
I
we're
just
here.
do. So I've cut out lots of pieces.
Yeah.
Let's have a think about this. So I might do this
You've
one.
been busy. Look at this.
Yeah, the nice thing about this is you, it goes that way, and then let's have a look. And then
It's like a
this
jigsaw,
one.
isn't it?
It is like a jigsaw. If you are the lovely thing about doing something like this with solids is you can just flip them over and they're the same.
Yeah.
If you're cutting these out with printed fabric, you either need to cut the shape from one side,
Yeah.
you know, don't fold the fabric over
Yeah.
like I did, unless you want a mirror of the block.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because
Yes.
if you fold the fabric over and then cut with the one shape, you're going to have one reversed and
So
one the
you
right
might discover
way.
that your quilt is actually going to be the mirror.
Yes, I
the
don't
mirror
want people
version.
wasting their fabric. But if you're using the solids, it's great. It doesn't matter because you can just flip it over.
Would
and you
you
can
say-
do mirror versions very easily.
Then for a new quilter, for somebody who's new to quilting, maybe they've looked at this and gone, that's stunning, gotta have that. It's a very fresh, modern feel, actually. Look at that, stunning. I now know 16 blocks went into that. Actually, so that you don't have so many things to think about, working with your solids, is that a great starting point?
I think so, yes. And I would say go with your favourite colours. Just pick out your favourite colours, the colours you love. You know, mix them up any which way. I don't think that there is a right or wrong or these colours don't work together. I think if you love them, then that's what's going to work really well. Yes.
It's your quilt. You're the designer. Perfect. So today we're using the Creative Grids non-slip Scrap Crazy. Yeah. Which is this.
Yeah. Which is this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start putting it together. It's really, really easy. They've made it so simple. You know, you might look at that and just think, you know, where do I start?
Has generally been my response to a lot of quilting.
Quite often mine to
Where do I
various
start?
things. So I'm going to sew this piece to this piece and this piece to this piece.
So where do we start?
The instructions are in that leaflet that comes with the templates. And one of the things that it pointed out was with the triangle shape, because you've got one straight edge and two bias edges.
Oh, there's going to be some
You
stretch.
want to have the straight edge on the edge of the block.
Right.
So that it's not giving as you're joining the blocks together, and the bias is going to be within those seams when you're making the block. So you want to just check which edge is your bias edge.
How do we do that?
So if I go like
that
that,
looks
you can
wobbly.
see that's quite stretchy.
That one's not.
That one's not. And that one is.
Stretchy.
So the one that isn't needs to go at the top.
It sounds different actually when you tug it as
Yes,
well,
it does.
doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
got a tighter sound.
You can hear it. So, and that's a good sort of just little tip generally if you're using these kind of shapes to keep that straight edge on the straight of your block and keep the bias angles where you're sewing the angles.
It's just these little things that just help, isn't it?
Yes, massively.
And that's how we learn. It's great to have this.
So I'm sewing these two pieces together, and you can see here at the top, that straight line is going to become the edge of my block. There's no dog ears there on that side.
So where would
And then
you...
down at the bottom, this piece, if I stop moving it around, will match up with that edge there.
Is that there? Is that... Hang on, that
I'm not
blue
going to-
dog ear.
yeah.
Is that from there to there? Is that a quarter of an inch? How big is that?
That is, it might be just, yes, or just less. I've just trimmed it off, so I don't know.
Let's measure it. What do you reckon? Oh no, we can measure it
Yeah,
along
it's
there,
quarter
couldn't
of
we?
an inch at an
yeah,
angle,
so
isn't it?
that's where you're starting at then. Is that your starting point
Yeah,
on
so
the
that's
edge of
where
that?
you're going to start. So you can sew it. I'm going to check that edge again. I didn't move that, no. I'm just going to start from there, and that's cut at an angle, so that's
So
the
you would
point
start
there.
on that is your
so start
quarter
at that
inch.
point, and I'm going down to that point.
So it actually gives you a start and finish point. That's
does.
brilliant. Perfect.
Yeah, it
Perfect. Let me show you all of these because now they're out and about. These are the crazy scraps. Scrap crazies. Now, so that's C, that's A. How are these all joining together? So you get 4 templates in here. So you can cut them all out. 1, 2, 3. You also get tips and hints in there as well. There you go, there are your 4. Oh, there we go. Up there, right there, there. Shall I just lie it flat? Would that be easier? Let's do that. And you can see on each of these sort of a more, what's the word I want? Oh, I can't work out how this goes now. God, it's like a... There we go. Oh, it shows it on the packet, apparently. Yeah, you know, that's just no fun, is it?
The one that's
the one that's right next to me. That packet, you mean that packet there? Yeah, great. So this sort of darker colour around there, that grips your fabric. Obviously, you have to press down on it, as Lisa pointed out, but that then grips onto your fabric, which actually means you can work on your scraps a little bit more easily because it's not going to shift out from underneath you. You don't have to work on a huge piece of fabric all the time. And I've never seen that in other acrylics. I think it's just absolutely brilliant. But that's what you're getting with Creative Grids, who are the makers of this. Brilliant.
So, and there is, Eagle Eyes might have seen there is a fifth shape in this, which I'm going to come to in a minute.
What?
There's a fifth shape.
Optional E.
Optional E.
Hello, optional E.
So you're actually getting 5.
For the price of 4.
Not just 4. But I'll show you how you can use that E one in a minute. So I'm
Producer Paul says actually technically you get 6 because you just made a square.
Well, that's true. But you couldn't cut out. You can't use that to cut a square, Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
If you wouldn't mind giving that one a press for me.
I'd love
and
to.
then I'm just going to sew the next 2 pieces together. So that's just very simple. The smaller shape to the bigger one, and you'd be doing it right sides together if it had if it was a print. And I'm going to sew along there, and again, where that's been where the green's been trimmed there, that's your starting point, and sew along here. So I'm just going to do that with a 1/4 inch seam again.
I'm having a little play with the old mini iron over here.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, rather loving it.
I love it.
This is going to be next on your purchases, isn't it?
Yeah, it probably will.
I think that we should have
really
a new segment. What Lucy's bought this week? Is it going to be a new sewing machine? Is it going to be a rotating cutting mat? Is it going to be the clover iron?
I just can't help myself.
Oh, it makes
so I just
me
finger
laugh.
press that, and then the other thing that's
I can
great.
press it for you. I've got a mini iron over there.
It'll be fine. You can if you want. Go on. You just want to use it now, don't you?
Have mini iron, will iron.
If
you're after a mini iron, $49.95. One of those things you didn't know you needed until you needed it. And we saw going around the circle earlier when you were doing your Dresden plate.
I mean, that's brilliant for that.
Yes.
Because you can't. I mean, this ironing you could do with a regular iron.
Not when it's not plugged in, I can't.
Not when it's not plugged in.
That one's plugged in.
Well, you're going to have a long one to do in a minute.
That's right.
So the other nice thing about this and this particular configuration of the Scrap Crazy block is it doesn't actually matter which way you press your seams.
Oh, okay.
We've just done it to the darker side. But it doesn't actually matter. Now, what does matter is when you come to sew these 2 pieces together, depending on how you've pressed your seam.
Yep.
There you go. I always like to have it so that the seam is going down.
So you don't rock
when I'm
it.
sewing. So on this way, you see it's going down. I'm not going to catch it. It's just, it's not always possible, but when it is possible, so rather than sew from that side and have that, I'm going to sew from that side so that it's going.
Nice.
So the seam's going down. So at this point, if you wanted to pin, you can pin, or...
But we know you like to go rogue.
So just go rogue.
So we've got our Clover Mini Iron with the adapter, $49.95. We've got various adapters on the website. Take a look at those. Also, oh, look at this. This is like the foot that comes with it, but bigger. Perfect. Now these that's the large adapter one. So that's $8.95. I love this little Clover Mini Iron. Now this is your ball top. This is so clever. Do you ever make fabric flowers and things like that?
I personally haven't, no.
Oh, well, if you were to, then this would iron your circular shapes into a 3D sort of shape Very clever. Love an adapter for that. $8.95
Is someone
for
going to
that.
be doing that? Because I'll have to watch. I've never.
Well, I think we need to, yeah.
Yes.
And then we've also got, this is good. You know when you get long, thin things that you need to press sort of, if you're doing, I don't know, little buttonholes. Legs as well, yeah, anything like that. Perfect. $8.95 for that as well. Awesome. Oh, okay.
I do love this. Yes, I'm pressing this one open just because I have bulk here and bulk here. So, if I go like that, I'm making this one extra bulky. If I go that way, I'm making this one extra bulky. So I prefer to press open, but it's just a matter of preference, and that's not... oh dear. Don't want to burn that. There we go. A requirement.
Okay.
Press as you like.
As you want,
yes,
basically.
Yes. So there we go. That's one block.
Yay! Now, you made 4 of those.
I did. Thanks. I did.
Okay.
I made 4 of those. And so you can carry on doing that, and you can do it in repeat, and you can do any kind of combination of colours, and you'll get a different look to it.
Wait there a second.
Yes.
Wait there a second, because I just wanted to show how easy it is to go from... Oh, there you go. So that's... This one's quite a feminine one, I think. Fresh and crisp, but quite a feminine one that you've made earlier. And all of these colours are on the show for you. And then you see... let's put it next to each other. Yeah. Like that. Suddenly, quite masculine.
And
Hello, boys, teenage boys' bedroom.
That soft ivory colour...
Against
and that's
the stark white.
That's the optical white.
The optical white, yeah. And just that change in colour. Still the same green in there, but suddenly, wow, very different. I likes it.
Yeah, it's really
so
nice.
Play
and
with your colours.
Yeah, and move them. I mean, I just happen to have put the green in the same place because I think I cut a whole lot of that shape with
the honesty.
Yes. But of
Pistachio. It's got a posh name.
I love it. And that's
Pistachio.
It reminded me the Pantone colour of the year is a green, and you're seeing lots of the greens around in...
It reminded me of posh Italian ice cream, so I'm glad you
there you go. That too.
You went Pantones, I went ice cream.
Too, yeah. But you'll see there's loads of in like homeware and...
it's in.
Yeah, fashion, lots of things. You're seeing lots of spring green colours, and that is lovely. Although I do quite like that particular kind of Italian ice cream. So,
it's the one my mum always goes for.
So you can mix these around. You can, you don't have to have this be your background. That could be your bolder colour. So any sort of combination.
Yay! What else can we do?
So then that's another block, and then I'm going to do a completely different one, which I haven't made up.
Still using these scrap crazies.
Yes, still using templates. So, in fact, the first thing I'm going to do, sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I'm going to show you the E.
The what?
The E.
Oh, the E. Right. Yes.
Template there.
This is the hidden fifth shape.
Yes, the hidden fifth shape, which you can use in this block, and that line there, it would be a little triangle. So. This is the cut version of E, obviously, but once it's sewn in, that's how it would be. So you would have 2 fabrics in that one making up that larger triangle shape. So that's what it's intended for in that block. And then the E is the shape that I've used. I
wondered how you did the little triangle.
For the little triangle
argyle
in there.
That we've just called it.
So to do that, I believe that's 2.5 inches the strip, but I could be wrong. So you do need to measure the template.
We can do that.
Can I get that?
Oh, did you? No, here we go. Did you see? Has that got inches on?
No. I'm just going to use it for cutting.
Oh, okay.
But that one.
I was going to measure this one. Here we go. Just to measure. Do you want to measure how big it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5.
2.5. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
So I've cut a 2.5 inch strip.
Right.
And then here on the template, it very handily has a line that quite clearly says cutting line for optional E.
Hey!
So then you're just lining up that line with the edge of the fabric.
Right.
And you can see from measuring this template, you know that that's the edge, so
Yes.
you've got no
There's
dog
nothing
ear
to
to
worry
trim
about.
there.
That just makes it tidy, neat quilting, doesn't it?
So, but it's
Spin,
how
spin, spin, spin,
clever these templates are. They've
been
so
really well thought
clever.
out, haven't they?
Yeah, really, really clever. So there we go. So then if I'm doing E, all I would do is then keep moving the template along, and I can cut lots of that shape.
Very clever.
Now, what I will say is you've got no dog ear at the top, but obviously we haven't cut off these dog ears here.
Yes.
We don't want to.
Oh, okay.
Because depending on the pattern you're using, it actually comes in really handy for matching up your points so that you get nice, neat points where...
Shall I flip and turn
where
the
they're
dog
meeting.
ears?
So if you flip it over, what you'll see, and I've left them on intentionally, I would after I'd pieced it, cut them off. You don't have to, but I would. But then you can see, if I just can twist it that way, you can see how when I'm sewing along this seam, these are two separate dog ears, and I've put them together like that, so I know that when I come to turn it round, I'm going to have a really nice, sharp, crisp point along that seam there.
You see, Brennan, you are clever.
I'm not
Quilting
clever.
malarkey.
It's these... It's these wonderful templates that are so clever.
Pistachio / ice cream is most popular this hour.
Ah, yeah.
Who'd have thunk it? But yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a lovely
£3.25. In fact, all of our fabrics on this hour are £3.25. Details down the bottom of your screen. There, just above the phone number, £3.25. That is your Spectrum Solid by Makawa in pistachio. UDMY19.
Okay, so what I'm going to show you now is just another block that you can do, which is quite a simple one.
All using
shapes.
the Scrap Crazy.
All using Scrap Crazy. And this one...
Love this.
Look how clever this is, though.
Oh.
This is using the mirror. So I'm doing two of the same blocks and then creating mirror blocks. So by that, I mean... I have one that's going this way, and then this one is the mirror image of that. And then you'll see when I put these together...
Oh, hello.
Look at that.
That is.
So I'm going to sew these together. Again, it's just really simple.
So when you said you get a hexagon out of these, you do?
Well, and you get an actual... If you want to grab that one while I sew these, because that's another block as well. So I'm just going to sew this using a...
Yeah, because you promised me a hexagon out of triangles.
Yes, that's a hexagon.
Which is what we've got here. This is your hexagon out of triangles. It's so clever. So that's using another... So there are lots of ways to make... this is clever, isn't it? Very clever. And again, all using your Creative Grids non-slip Scrap Crazy 15.2 centimetres, actually 6 inches combinations. £22.95. This is a handy little kit, isn't it? Very handy kit. Nice. All the hints and tips coming with it, within the instructions as well. This is fabulous. I'm having so much fun. So far we've made this one. We've made this one. We've made the one you're about to see with the pinks in. That one. That's a mocked up image, but we do have 4 blocks together. And then here, we've got what I'm now going to call, this has probably got a proper name for it, but I'm going to call it your Argyle, because I rather like that. And that's just some of them. That's just some of them. And then this is what we're getting. It comes like this for you. So you see, this doesn't look like it's going to do all these things, but it so is. Look at that, you could do that.
And that's what, if I'd have just seen...
Can I have the open one? Just to have a
yes,
little...
of course. If I'd have just seen that, I would have thought, OK, that block's nice, but, you know, but it does so much more.
It does, doesn't it? So if you're after great value for money, when you've got these, so this is the one that we're busy sewing up at the moment. We've done this one. We could have put in an extra little triangle there, had we wanted to. And then this is how you do the one I've just shown you, the hexagon out of triangles. It's so clever.
It's so clever, and they're so easy to use. You know, they're not difficult at all.
Clever stuff makes me happy.
Yeah. Would you mind pressing those to the
Not
dark
at
side
all,
for me, please?
Side.
Oh, actually, do I want you to press them to the dark side? Could you press them open, please?
I can do that because I've got my little
it's just
mini
going to
iron.
make it a little less bulky just while I'm thinking about it. And while you do that, I'm going to lay out a hexagon.
I think the Clover mini iron is one of those things that you didn't know you needed until you got it, and then you never want to be without it.
And how easy it is. See, I sew in the corner, I've said this many times now, but I sew in the corner of our dining room. So I have to get up, go into the kitchen, get out the big ironing board and the big iron.
Oh, it's just a faff, isn't
Whereas
it?
I could just have that next to me, couldn't
by your
I?
side.
Yeah.
And also it gets in all those little nooks and crannies. And if you're appliquing, I know you like a spot of
I love applique
here and there, then perfect for that. What do you do? Hang on. What do you do?
I just made a hexagon. No, I didn't because I haven't sewn it together.
But
that is how you would create the hexagon. And there I've just used 2 colours, whereas in the other version I'd used 3. But you can see even just using those, putting those 2 together, you would have
nice,
a completely different look again. So lots of ways of doing it. Could even fit, look, you could just do rows of triangles. Never mind hexagons.
Oh, hello.
There's so much that
once
you
you
can
get going, it's never ending.
Yeah, and you can just play with them like a jigsaw, you know, and see how you like to put them together.
Yeah.
So that would be the hexagon one.
This is great. I'm loving this.
And then the other one, the Argyle one that I made,
yes,
you could do that rather than having these 2. I think that's the B shape. Yes, you could have 2 different colours of the B.
Oh, look.
And put. You could do it with blue.
Oh, this is your Argyle, but a bit different.
But a bit different. So I've used the 2 different fabrics in there instead. We'll do it with the pink.
Oh.
It's just changing the fabric gives it a completely different
look. Doesn't it?
Look.
Masculine.
And then, you know, if I decided, no, I don't want cream today, thank you.
This is the joy of using these solid colours, is that you can just flip them around. You don't have to cut them intentionally.
No, because again, this one is a mirror. So like I'm doing with the block I'm constructing, that one's a mirror. So you have to... These. There's a bit of thought if you're using print.
Yeah.
But using the solids, just go...
Start off.
You know,
I'm edging towards starting off with solids here. If I'm gonna do this and start from scratch. Yeah.
Now... I could. Which way should I put it together?
I was pretty sure. Hang on, didn't you have a blue triangle?
Yeah,
in the
I did.
middle
I just turned them around. Should I do the white one or the blue? Blue.
Oh, well, that's a different look. Oh, hello.
Or a combination.
I quite like that, actually.
Do you like that one?
Yeah.
I like making the hexagon, though.
Okay, go on then, make your hexagon.
I'm particular. But should I do a blue one or a white one?
Blue one.
Okay.
It's there. Let's go blue.
Okay, why not?
Actually, that's going to be the most difficult thing about using this, is deciding which shapes to use, which colours to use, what combinations to use.
I'm just going to point out to everybody that the reason I then changed my mind and asked you to press that open. Is because now I'm sewing...
together now. Yeah. Open.
Echoing. Now I'm sewing these together. If I'd have said press to the dark side, I would have had all that seam to go through and all that bulk when I come to quilt it. So just thinking about it, because I know that that's going to... Move that thread. That's going to meet... I don't want all the seam. So I could do one way, one the other way.
Yes.
Or I could have them open.
Okay. And because this is our day of loving patchwork and quilting, we've got a special offer for you on the web only, online only. If you would like to get 3 editions of Love Quilting and Patchworking for just £3, just £1 each, and you get 3 of them, then go for it. It's all on there for you just to celebrate, because we can, because it's our sister magazine and we have the technology. Then go and grab that, and then you'll get lots of inspiration. It's good, that, isn't it?
It is.
Do you write for the magazines?
Yes,
you do, don't you?
Yeah, I've written for Love Patchwork and Quilting.
Is that how we found
I'm
you?
in next month, but I'm not sure. Yeah. Yes, I think so. Yes. Yeah,
Excellent.
it's a lot of fun. They're a wonderful team, and they have lots of fabulous designers doing
gorgeous
things for them.
when you go through it.
That panda one, just
beautiful.
It's fabulous.
Just so that you know, it's going to be this, isn't it? Just so that you know, the stock of the Creative Grids Non-Slip Scrap Crazy is starting to run low. Again, sorry, we thought we bought enough. Can't guarantee your order. Please check out your baskets and make sure that you get it. Please give us a call and check out your baskets. 0800 112 4433. Well done for those of you getting that. I think you're going to have hours of fun. But make sure that you're also popping some of the solids in your basket as well, so that you've got something to play with. There's nothing worse than having a toy and not having the batteries. This is the same. Get your quilting toy and make sure that you've got the quilting equivalent to batteries, which is, of course, your fabric.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I've just been a bit naughty and not pinned that.
Oh.
So I'm just going to do it. So my points aren't completely perfect. I would normally pin. I know, I'm sorry, but I want to make the other one as well. I don't want to run out of time.
But I want to do everything.
I want to just do everything.
All at once, everything. Do you want to see what we've made today? So, with just these grids, you can make this. You can make this. You can make this. You can make this, amongst other things. Fab things that we've... Oh, that as a table runner.
There you go.
Argyle table runner. Oh, and you can make this. Ding! Here. Awesome.
So either way.
Yes.
I mean, you could do some really fun things with that, couldn't you? In different colours and things.
Yeah.
You also could do the... I just thought of this.
Dun, dun, dun.
You could do a hexagon with the little triangles.
Nice.
You can make yourself a little one, look. Pretty, pretty.
Oh, nice.
I've done that properly, there we go.
You could... Oh, hello. Mini bunting as well.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Lots of things. Okay, so I'm going to make one of these
I'm going to leave you to play and go and look at the solids, because the solids for me today... I'm going to leave you to play.
I'm going to play.
The solids for me today are one of those things that you just go, do you know what? Yes, this is really working. This means that you don't have to worry about which side you're cutting because of patterns or anything like that, or prints. Doesn't matter. You can cut either side, use either side. That's the joy of your solid. We've got a spectrum of solid colours for you here. In fact, on the website, if you're after more, we've got over 60 on the website. They've got a whole page, we've got so many, dedicated just to your solid colours, because we know, firstly, you're going to use them. Secondly, you might be backing your quilts with them. You might be, I don't know how you're going to use them. It's up to you entirely. Here we go. This is your cornflower blue, £3.25 per half a metre. You decide how much of this gorgeous fabric you want. I love the softness of this blue. Very, very pretty. But then teamed with the ocean blue next to it, absolutely lovely. These work really well, don't they? And then when we saw them with the white and the grey, gorgeous. Let me give you the details for this ocean. Here it is, coming right up. Half a metre of that. Again, £3.25. These solids do not break the bank by any means. £3.25 per half a metre. XQMY51. All from Makawa, all 100% cotton. If you are quilting, give them a quick run through the washing machine first. Any cotton fabric will have a little bit of shrinkage, so just do that before, but run them through there. Fully washable, iron, happy days. Now, so that's your ocean. Let's have a look at the optical white. Now, the reason that I'm saying this is because if you missed out on the Panda kit, but you bought the Joel Dewberry charm pack that we had earlier, and you want to have a go at the pandas, then this is the white that the pandas were made out of. It's a real good bright white, and it's £3.25 per half a metre. QKMY01 is your code for that. But you can really see next to that ivory how soft it is. Should we talk about the ivory next? Here we go. It's different. It's funny, isn't it, how that stark white makes it very fresh and modern. This a little bit more shabby chic if you're going for your ivory here. Very pretty there, that ivory. It's a much softer colour, softer tone. And it just brings out the softer tones in the fabrics. If you want bright and modern, go for the optical white. If you want softer, more antique coloured, then go for this beautiful ivory. And the other colour that's really useful to have in your stash is the slate. Really useful. It goes with everything in all of these. So this is your slate here. This is how if you saw the Colour Me show that we did on Sunday, this was the colour that I used to back my cushions with. Very popular colour, 325 grey, very much in at the moment. So QLMY48 is your code for that one. Pink. Let's go pink. Let's have a look at the pink. Here we go. This is your pastel pink here. Again, 325. I love the softness of this pink. It works beautifully with that ivory, I have to say. Absolutely gorgeous. It's the similar tone, isn't it? 325 there. BMMY45. And of course, the most popular is your pistachio. Nice. Look at these. These are all folded beautifully, and I've come over here and made a mess. So if you want to grab your pistachio, then please do, as I say, 325 per half a metre there. Been incredibly popular this hour. UDMY19. It's a lovely fresh green ready for spring, I think, this one. Very, very popular. Works beautifully with that pink there. It all works a treat. So UDMY19. Oh, Lucy Brennan, what you doing? What you doing?
Sewing the triangles together just for fun.
just, is this what happens at home? Do you start off with one and then go, and I could make this and this? And this
I have what I call startitis, where I've worked startitis.
Oh, you start things.
I'm working on one project and then I have an idea for another one, and the other one gets left behind in the dust while
as a UFO.
Yes.
An unfinished object.
Well, I get distracted by the shiny new idea and start sewing that instead. So I have lots of UFOs, unfortunately.
Do you?
And work in progress.
You see, this is the problem for me, is that I like to put all of my UFOs in bags, so I then end up not finishing the project because I then start a bag to then put the project in so that I've got them all neatly.
Yeah.
It's a worry. But,
so look, you can make a little border.
Nice. Very nice.
I mean, there's so many options with just those 4, 5, technically, shapes and things that you can do.
I want to play with this again, please, because I loves it.
And I hadn't thought about that one till just now.
Perfect. until amazingly.
Yeah, until just now.
Yeah. Look at that. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Should we trim off these with our little rotating matty thing? Love this. This has made my day, this. I'm easily pleased.
It's fantastic. What shall I
So
use?
it
Shall I just use one of
rotates
these?
360 degrees, the full caboodle. So underneath here is a nice non-slip mat. So it's going to stay put where you put it, and then whoosh, just spins around.
And this is handy. I can just line that up with the seam.
Handy.
Line there. And then just...
Self-healing mat as well, so you're not going to get those horrible bumpy bits where
little doggy. Yes,
cutting over.
And then say I'd just done that one and wanted to turn it round.
Turn. I'll
do it that way.
Makes us happy.
And then trim that.
Lots to play with today, actually. So if you want the rotary cutter, we've got that. That's $14.95. If you want the Alpha rotating mat, then that's $32.95. Producer Paul, can we show if you're starting out from scratch? That one. Yeah, we've also got, if you're starting, if maybe you have been inspired by our fabulous guests to get quilting and go, well, where do I start this? This is where you start. You start with your rotary cutter. It's the first time we've brought this to air today. In there is a square acrylic for cutting and a cutting mat on there. You've got inches on one side, centimetres on the other. So 3 essential tools that you need for quilting. And this is from Olfa. $38.95. Great price there. Pop it in your basket. TQGQ60. Was it you that said you had an... Oh, no, it wasn't. It was Jo that said that she'd got an Olfa cutter.
I have an Olfa cutter too.
Oh, look at this.
That's the one I use.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the one I use.
This is the one. This one here. This is a 45mm one. Great size. Why? I mean, we've got all sorts of cutters. Why the Olfa?
It's a trusted brand. It's a name that you hear a lot within quilting because they do such good cutters. Great mats. I use their mats as well. And the blades are excellent. The blades are really good. They will last a good long time.
Really?
Yes.
Awesome. There you go. So you've also got the safety catch, very important, with your rotary cutter. So you're good to go. So if this is the first time that you've considered quilting, you go, well, where do I start? Here. Start here. It's like a starter kit, isn't it? Fab. Yeah. And then once you get used to using these, then go on to your whizzy bits and bobs that are fun and lots of fun to go with.
But that's a nice size. Do you want to would you mind turning it over that way? That's it. That is a really nice size mat for for quilting, and also if you're wanting to go to a class, you can take that.
Take it with you.
Take it with you. It is a really nice size, and these smaller pieces.
It goes to here. Ends there, so it's all that size.
Yeah,
it's good, isn't it?
It's really good. Nice for squaring up blocks as well.
Nice.
This size of mat I keep next to my sewing machine. Oh. So that if I just want to trim something, I've got it, right there to be able to. We had
the massive great big ruler, but I think Amy's whipped it away. No, like the big,
the square one.
Big 20.5-inch one.
Square. I know, it's amazing.
52 by 52 centimetres, we've got to say, but it's in inches, which is actually 20.5 inches. We've got that as well. Oh, here it is. It's coming in.
She's so fast.
Oh, she is. She's speedy. She's quick and speedy. Thanks, Amy. She just appears as if by magic. Here we go. Now, firstly, in here, there is a little hole. There you go. Can you see that there? So you can hang it up.
I know. I've just got myself. Well, no, I've just ordered myself a griddy thing to hang up my rulers.
A giddy griddy thing by the looks of it.
I'm so giddy about it. But it's really important that they're kept flat.
Yeah, it's the same as your cutting mat.
Yeah, same as your cutting mat. So you don't
rubbish.
want it just like mine currently is leaning up against something, because they will distort and things, and especially something this size, you want to keep it flat. So being able to hang it up is
perfect.
Just fantastic.
Now, things to look at. On here, you'll see all these little circular bits here. These are grips. These grip your fabric, which means you can be cutting out a little piece, and that's absolutely fine. This here, again, down all of the edges, is again part of your non-slip bit that you've got on here. You'll see here, this is 1/4 inch that it goes to, so it's also helping you highlight your 1/4 inch. Well, it's a really well thought out piece of kit. On one side here, this is your inches, so this from there to there is 1 inch. But if you look at the other side over here, from there, the black measurements from there to there include your seam allowance. Clever.
And you've got the 1/2 inch marks as well.
Yeah.
So depending on how you're using it, where you're measuring, if you have this bit at the top,
yes,
then you've got your whole numbers, and then all you need to do is turn it over, and you've got your half measurements. So when I'm cutting 2.5 inch strips for binding, I always put the half measurements at the top.
And then you know
because you
got
can
it.
see the 2.5 on the whole ones, but it's just so much easier looking at that half.
It's learning how to use a piece of equipment like this. This is the big bad boy of the ruler world, and I think he's rather fabulous. $49.95 for your Creative Grids non-slip square. It's a mahoosive 20.5 inch by 20.5 2.5 inch, that's 52 centimetres. We're running out of time, I've just looked at the clock. Oh my goodness.
I was just going to say, you don't need to, it doesn't have to be a 20, you're not just cutting 20.5 inch squares.
Look at that.
You can just trim things off, you know, to get whatever, all those sizes.
When are you back?
I'm back on... Soon.
Yay!
Monday.
Thank you ever so much for all your hard work today.
Thanks, Natasha.
Fun as always, informative and great fun. Thank you ever so much for watching. That's the end of our 4 hours. Where does it go?
Flies by.
We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Sewing Quarter is at the very heart of sewing as we bring you all things sewing and quilting. The team behind us live and breathe sewing day to day. We strive to bring you exclusive offers, exciting live demonstrations, and most importantly, we will custom cut fabric to your specification in our very own cutting room. We will also be bringing you TV exclusives that you won't be able to find anywhere else. So come and join us today at the Sewing Quarter.
Welcome to the Sewing Quarter.